This is the OK Show Thursday edition. My name is Iceman.
You got Rod Rodriguez. What's up?
What's up? It's almost Friday, almost weekend. So hey,
What's up?
You should
Hear
be
me?
perked up.
Uh,
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. And we're talking about
we should be perked up.
this thing that went
Getting
viral
slapped with
a
a
few days ago.
escopette on the face.
Yeah, the lechon was actually just, I don't know, like it was a whole lechon. Then by the time that person went there to check on the items, it was already like almost half of it was already consumed. So yeah, that was kind of funny. And this is what I wrote for
All right, hold
for us
on.
to talk about, like as a sort of like a topic for tonight, and which is really actually stupid, but well, I just picked it out. Like, should you pay for what you ordered? All right, that's the question tonight. Should you pay for what you ordered?
We're not gonna get sued for cyber libel here, right? We're not dropping names. We're not giving the exact addresses of people.
we're
We're
just
not.
talking about
I don't
people
even
that
know their
went
names, to be
on.
honest.
Yeah, well, I don't know who they are or what they are, but if you want to know about these people, you can just like go on YouTube, and there's a bunch of videos there about these guys. All right. So I
It's type
was looking at
escabeche or
the
something.
right.
What's the keyword?
Well,
Escabeche?
no, I haven't seen the whole video, but I was at the part where I think the lady was trying to like inform people, or was trying to tell people what was she
Don't
what
get
was she
too
about
much
to
into the
do.
details.
Yeah,
I don't
but
want to get
yeah,
sued.
well, I'm not gonna give names and whatnot, but she was telling people what she was about to do, because I think somebody ordered from her, and the person made a down payment, which is about 9,000
Mhm.
pesos. I think the total bill was about 18,000 plus, almost 19,000. So the thing was, it wasn't settled properly, and I think she got wind of the idea that the person who ordered stuff from her don't want to pay up. So she was really kind
Yeah.
of she was bothered and whatnot. So she was there, just like telling everybody, on his Facebook Live or whatever. She had a video that like how she felt, and I mean, I felt for the lady. I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's your livelihood, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Exactly.
you okay. You went to a wedding, right? And you hosted a
Mm-hmm.
show, right? They
Okay.
agreed to pay you
Yeah.
this amount, right? Then they gave you like
Yes.
1,000 down payment. All right,
Okay.
1,000 down payment, which is about like what, like 10% of your 10% of your
More or
TF.
less. Yeah.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
or less, right? So you're like cool, because usually, for the most part, you get your TF at the end of the show, yeah, or
Yeah.
at the end of the
Yes. Yes.
event. So they gave you 1,000 pesos, and you're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get my money anyway after
So you did the
the wedding
hosting and
and
all that
whatnot. Yeah,
stuff.
you did the
Mabuhay
hosting,
ang bagong
whatever.
kasal and
Yeah,
all that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
signature
Yeah.
Rodriguez move, right?
I don't do
you
bada bing
have your
bada boom.
moves.
I don't do the bada bing bada boom. I don't do the bada bing
I
bada boom,
do
man.
that. So I mean,
I just walk around a lot.
you have your thing. You have your thing, and you did
Yeah,
not
yeah.
wear your
Crappy
your hungry
shoes.
shoes. Yeah, not the hungry shoes that time. And yeah, so
Yeah.
you did pretty well, and you felt good about it. Then at the
No
end of
wardrobe malfunction.
all right, and at the end of the freaking event, these couple don't want to pay up, because they
Mhm.
didn't think it was worth it. They were like, "Oh,
They're not
Rod,
satisfied.
not worth it." Yeah, something to
You're not as good as Iceman. Mas how'd si Iceman? Iceman, we paid in full. Then gave him the 1,000 after.
Di man ka paras kay Papa Charles. Uy, may palagi si Papa
Hey,
Charles ba?
no name dropping.
Dude,
Cyber libel
I
is
know
real,
the
dude.
guy. Come on, man. Papa Charles is a friend. Come on. So I mean,
Not anymore after this. Not anymore after this, because I know what you're saying.
No, I mean, no. Because I was saying that they have a preference, right? But they can't get hold of Papa Charles, so they're like, all right, we'll get hold of, like we'll have.
So if you don't have a papa in your DJ name, you're no good. Is that what it means?
I don't
What am I,
know.
Kuya now? What am I now?
Or maybe you're not funny enough for them. You're not as funny as
Well, I
Papa
wasn't
Charles,
okay.
or not as green as Papa Charles. I don't know.
Stop dropping names.
Dude, I mean, okay, what bad am I saying about Papa Charles?
Dude,
Right, nothing.
okay. Dude,
Nothing. I'm promoting him.
you're saying bad things about me, but I know what you're saying. I mean, like,
Right. Okay. All right. So whatever.
I don't even know.
So,
I don't even know how the guy does his hosting. All right, but Like I
Well,
don't
I
know, but
know he's
obviously
funny.
I think we're
He's funny.
different because he has
No,
a
we're
papa,
different.
and
He's funny. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're better or he's
okay.
better.
But that's your
He
point.
has,
That was your
yeah,
point.
that's my point. They like
Okay.
him better, all right, or they
Okay.
prefer his style of doing the show,
But I did
and
my job. I did
and
what
you
I was
did your
expected
job,
of me.
yes.
Okay.
And all of a sudden
But they
they're like, "No,
refused
we're
to
not going to
pay
pay you
me
up."
because I wasn't. They weren't
Yeah,
satisfied.
yeah, because they weren't satisfied. They think it's not worth it. And how would you
Okay.
feel about that? Would you like, all right, I'll take the 1,000 pesos. I'll just go home. Would you do that? Is that what you're gonna do? Just or would you like,
You
or
know,
would you like, or would you like, we are here at the event. Nandito po tayo sa event. Kay dili mo bayad ang mag-asawa. I mean, would you would you go home or would you do your Facebook Live?
grabe nagyugpugpog. Grabe nagyugpugpog kung ganina pa ko.
Wala, wala na gyud ako gisuot akong gigutom nga sapatos. Nya ani pa jud. Oh man. Crap.
Bago lang ko naguram og suit from Mark Takan. Anyway, it's just
Right?
dude, if you put it that way, then I'll understand why they didn't pay me. But
But yeah, I mean, I feel for the person. You know what I'm saying?
okay, I know I get it, but okay, here's the thing though. Here's where it's different. I mean, the principle is the same. The idea is, it's the same. I guess situation in a lot of ways.
Right.
But what's different is mine was more of like a service. Hers was like more of a product. So there was actually like an actual item or items in this case, like food items, that were delivered and that had value.
But remember, I mean, like, these are food. All right, the items.
I know.
They're not
I know.
tech products. They're not
I know.
furnitures. Right. So
I'm not
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not justifying this, Kabe. I'm on the of course the caterer lady side. I'm totally on her side. I mean, regardless if even if there was like a cockroach.
Be careful, she's not a caterer. That's what she said. She's not.
Okay, she's not a caterer. All right, so she's a reseller or whatever she is. But either way,
yes, that's what she said.
Like I said, there's a product. Like in my case,
right.
Like for me, I mean, in fairness, hosting is a very difficult job. I mean, if people think if you overcome stage fright, you're good. Like, yeah, I mean, but like I said, it's always a risk. Like what Iceman said, I might be compared to another host, and how am I going to compete with that? If they think that other host is better than me, I mean, what am I going to say? Like, pa-English na lang or pa-howday na lang, whatever. I can't, right? Because that guy, that host that I'm being compared to, might actually be good at something, or might be better at something than I am. So, but the difference here is that lady, the reseller, let's call her is she the victim, right? Or initially, she's the one that's supposed to be, like she's supposed to be the one that's gonna get like sued or complained on. She's not a receipt or something. But the way I see it is, since there are food items, she shelled out money, right, to be able to sell that product. Or in this case, the food items at the party, and that means she shelled out money already. And the money she's gonna make is from, of course, the price that she increased in her items and the service, whatever. But for me, being a host, I really did not. Well, okay, if you count my suit, if you count my cologne, if you count my hair gel and whatever,
gas money,
yeah, that's money, but. Of course, the suit and whatever, I can wear that in several hostings, right? It's not like that. I only did that for that particular event.
Yeah. With the gas, you burn it. Of course, boom, you can't take it back.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, what people don't count with
our from your family, the time away from
with our jobs,
the time away from Rye, the time away
from
your wife.
It. The experience, dude. What got me to that point? And I think that's why some people can't tell the difference.
Driving
it's like
to the location or to the venue of the event.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, you could have had an accident,
right? I'm talking about the 20 years of being a radio guy.
Right.
And the hosting experiences we've had, with our parties and all that stuff, and just like being a conversationalist in front of a lot of people. And keeping it chill and everything doesn't work out.
Don't like your style. That's what they're saying. No, we don't like
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
20
but
years?
Like I said,
it's 20 years? And they'd be like, that other guy's like what? Like just 5 years?
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. It's like if a coordinator gets me for an event or to host a wedding, I mean, I always ask that. I'm like, okay, well, did I have a preference? I assume though that if the coordinator gets me for that event, that I or refers me or recommends me, I'm assuming that the coordinator
They like
knows
you.
what the couple want, and that because the coordinator would know my style, so the coordinator would be the in betweener. Okay,
Right.
this couple prefers like this kind of style. I'll get this other host, right? So I don't even bother to like really do research so much on the couple because like I don't want to. I don't want to be doing things that I'm not comfortable with. It's not like I'm Mr. Flexible. So if I go up there, if I talk to the couple, I say, "Okay, what style do you want?" And they tell me, "Okay, we want you to be like Herman Moreno," and that's not my style. So what am I gonna do? Back out of the event? So the bottom line here is
Walang tulugan. That's
birch
easy, man.
tree for our guests. I can't find birch
Okay,
tree.
here's our claim. Here's our claim. Okay, here's your claim gift
Oh, may
pack.
video tape, may Betamax. Oh, magandang movie to. Uh, si ang bida dito si Claudia Sobel. But anyways, all I'm saying is that that poor lady already spent money, all right? And she's just banking on, the little income that she's going to make from that service, that transaction. She already shelled out money. So she's probably just even trying to get her money back at least. I mean, she's not going to be a millionaire
I
over
think
that
that's what she
one time
said. That's what
transaction.
she said.
Yeah.
She was just trying to
Yeah.
get
I
her money
mean,
back and break
yeah.
even.
Yeah. So asking
Yeah,
me
that was
if
so sad. I
how
mean,
I would
heartbreaking.
react if the couple would tell me they don't like my style, I'll just I'll learn from that mistake. Like I would be like, okay, all right, if this is what you think I'm worth, then I'll take it. I'll go home. I will never have anything to do with you again, and I will not judge my performance based on someone who has never done what I did. Opinion of, but I will take it as creative criticism. I'll take it as experience, and that you can't please everybody, and that some people are actually brutally honest about it. So if they're not super satisfied, I'll find faults at myself. But that I can live with, of course. It's not like I'll tell them, hey, I think I'm good, so I'm worth this, because we don't really formally have an agreement or contract or whatever in this business. Like there's no hosting school, there's no university of, hosting or events, whatever, at least here in Davao, right? So the only credentials I have is that I've been a radio guy for 20 years, and it's obviously through conversing and all the hosting stuff. Like same with you. It's not like how to cook English, pwede na ako mag-host. No, there's more to it than that. But of course, the couples don't really understand that. They think I have the easiest job in the world. They probably think, sometimes some of the ninongs who do their speeches try to outshine the host. I don't know if you've ever been through it. Like, you're doing your hosting thing, and then one of the ninongs who happens to maybe a member of the Toastmasters Club or whatever, hotshot, barangay kapitan sa una, so he
Okay,
really knows how to talk,
just for the record,
right?
I have never been outshined though. So just want to put it out there. I have never been outshined.
Okay,
No matter how
so
hard they try, I put them in their
you know,
place. That's what I
you're
do.
asking the wrong you're asking the wrong guy then.
Of
You're
course,
asking
you
me how I
haven't
would
been.
react. I would be like,
You
okay,
haven't been outshined, man. Come on, nobody can outshine you.
dude, I've got my style. They've got their style. I can't compare it. Trust me, I've seen other people host and I laugh. Like, wow, this guy's entertaining. I wish I could do that because I really can't do it. I can't make, I can make the white guys laugh. Those who, probably are more my target market in terms of my type of humor, but I can't make them laugh like the Gitik laugh that I wish I had. But some people have charisma. But in this case, like I said, it's food, right? So it's different. I can't really say. But for me, if somebody complained about my hosting, didn't pay me my TF, like I said, I'm never gonna have anything to do with that person again. I'm not gonna take it on the coordinator, but I will learn from that mistake. And the next time would be no return, no exchange. All right. You have to be like, as long as I didn't
Pay
screw it
up
up,
front. Pay up front. Pay
as long
now.
as I didn't screw it up. I mean, you told the
90% down payment. 90% down
well,
payment.
you didn't tell the mother or the bride or the groom. You said it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
You got paid for that, didn't you?
long night. I got
When she
paid.
was about to.
I got paid.
Okay, you got paid for it. All right, so but that's different. But that's different. This is like I said, there was already capital money that came out. She wanted to bank on that and a little income from, of course, the food that she was going to be serving. She wasn't the caterer, but she was, let's say, the in betweener, the reseller. And so I felt for her. It's different because, like I said,
I
when I
know.
host, it's more like
And
our
this other
talent.
person, and this other person was saying like, "Oh, wa ka kaila skoa." I was like, "What the heck, man? I mean, yeah, who the heck
Yeah,
are you? I mean, if you're that rich or if you're that whatever, pay up, pay the f up."
that's one line I will never utter in my lifetime.
Right?
Okay, let's.
Do you know who I am? You know,
Maybe to
I
my
don't.
son. Maybe to my son, I've said that several times.
Me have
But
said
I
that
would never
before.
say
No, no,
that
no,
to
no.
like.
Somebody told me like, you don't know who we are, and I told the other person like, well, you don't know who I am, and they were like pissed. They were so pissed, and I was like,
Niloso
what?
po.
What did you say? What did you say? I was like, yeah, well, you don't really know who I am, right? And they were like, all
Yeah.
right. So they didn't know how to respond to that. Well, yeah, I got
Okay.
that line from someone, and they were like, you don't know who we are. And I was
So
like, all right, then you
we
don't know
want to
who I
know.
am.
We we want to know from our guests. It's basically, should you pay for what you ordered? What is this about? Is this about somebody trying to rip somebody off?
I mean,
Both
if
ways.
is there
Like, is somebody trying to get away with
is there a
a free
business
meal?
that would allow you not to pay for what you ordered? Because I am going there and just order stuff and not pay for it. Because come on, man. Like, yeah, should you pay for what you ordered?
Um.
I mean, this is like
Well,
this
like
is
I said, like
sarcasm, right?
if you
You know, like yeah,
we ate
putting
once
it
at
out there.
a restaurant, like a restaurant chain here in Davao. It's very popular. And I was with my friends and Miguel, my friend from Echo Chance, you know him. He was just quiet the whole time. We were eating our meal, our rice toppings, and then all of a sudden he's like, at the end, he goes, "Bye, bye, bye." He shows me like a lettuce from his rice topping, and there's like a boiled little caterpillar. All right. So it was like between the leaves, not the lettuce, but the cabbage. So I was like, okay, all right. And he goes, I didn't tell you guys, I don't want to tell you guys because you guys were enjoying your meal. I didn't want to gross you out. So I just decided to skip my meal, but I didn't want to tell you while you guys were eating your meal because. So we spoke to the manager, and the manager said it's okay, you don't have to pay for the meal. I think we ended up like paying still. But what I mean is, like, yeah, in cases like that, and you get that offer from because they feel like it's their fault, or they gave really bad service, or they did not double check the food before they left the kitchen. Of course, you probably are entitled to maybe not pay, or maybe file a complaint, and maybe even get like I don't know, reimbursed for that or whatever. But in terms of like providing the service or giving the product, and there's absolutely nothing seriously wrong with it, pay for it. I mean, you
We are all
ordered.
victims of this kind of situation. Like every time we go to restaurants, all right,
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
always
You're right.
expect
You're
what
right.
we see on television.
You're right.
Wow, that burger's huge. Those cheese
You're right.
are wow, they're to die
Yeah.
for. Those smells
It's
like
not even
cheese
the
and
restaurant. It's the lighted, like, the
right.
menu.
The
You
lighted
look at it,
signs, the
you're like,
lighted
okay, I want
menu,
that.
their TV commercials and
Yeah.
whatnot. Then you go there and
We
I'm like, all right, this is a reality right here. But
we
I have never tried like I'm not gonna pay for this because it's not worth it. I've never pulled that trick. I mean, come on, like
and you're cheap. And you're cheap.
and I'm
And
a
you're
cheap
cheap. I mean,
person.
you're
Yes,
and he's cheap. I
I'm
meant
not even
cheap.
embarrassed about it. I am
I
cheap.
mean, and
I am
not
cheap as can
once
be
in his
little.
lifetime did he ever do that. Right?
Yes, right. Because it's just normal.
Yeah.
You
But
know, like
he just ran off the jeepney. That's all he did. He just
yeah,
like
just
jumped
like
off.
yeah, jump
Yeah,
off
it's
the
the same
jeepney
freaking
and like
thing, dude. Newsflash. It's the same thing.
all right. To my defense,
Hot kakon.
to my defense, I did not sit. I did not sit. Sumabit ako pare, sumabit ako. Pag nahulog ako, kaninong kasalanan niya, kasalanan niya.
Dude. See, that's the
That
thing with
was
the show, man. It's on record. It's not just the two of us. There's like maybe three other people that remember it. On record, you said, I'll
right.
wait for the other passengers.
I mean,
I'll
come
wait
on.
for the time when a lot of passengers get off. And I just get off with them. Dude,
Yeah, but dude, I did not
how
act
many
like
jeepney
"Wag ka kilas
drivers
ko
did
anong,
you
wag ka
oppress?
kilas ko anong, wag ka kilas ko anong, bayad, di ko ako ilabot, bayarin ko, right? But I didn't pull that off because you know what?
Apelyido lang ko nung Saraw. Unsa na lang sa jeepney mo? Saraw. Oh.
Wag ka kilas ko
Tama
anong,
daw-
ako si 1, 2, 3 kid. Ako si 1, 2, 3 kid.
Remember the wrestler 1, 2, 3 kid?
Yeah, of course I do.
He had that like spinning kick.
Kid. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Anyways. All right. So
I mean,
yeah, the bottom line here is
it's my fault. I didn't
the
act
bottom line
like,
here is
oh, wag ka kailan ako nung. Dude, I didn't have money. I was like,
you do.
and I
You know
didn't
what's
sit.
you know what
To my defense, I
sad
did
thing
not
about
sit. I did not sit. Sumabit ako.
stop making excuses, Iceman. You're the 1, 2, 3 kid. Sa presinto ka na magpaliwanag. All right. Here's the thing. You know the downside. Well, you know what really is kind of like bad about the situation where this thing got viral. At least, in the Visayas and Mindanao residents. I don't think the Manila
No,
people really
no,
cared
no. I
about it.
think
They
the
probably
Manila
didn't
people care
understand
about
half.
this, dude.
Yeah, I don't think they
It
understood
was,
half of it.
dude. Have you seen the YouTube videos? The YouTube videos has
It's gone viral.
subtitles in it. Yeah,
Okay,
it is
so
subtitles.
so
It's
that
it's
even that
Tagalog.
makes it even worse.
It's in
That makes it
Filipino.
even worse
Yeah,
because it took away
it's
the
subtitled now.
spotlight from Heidelin Diaz, the gold medal. Like all of a sudden, nobody's talking about her. Nobody's talking about Heidelin Diaz. Everyone's talking about Escabeche now. It's
Okay,
mud.
hang on. Do
So
you really want to talk
that's
about
kind of
Heidelin? I mean, a lot of people
no,
would feel
not
no. We would be. I mean, we are all proud of her. I am very, very proud of her. Right, but there are people who are not even focused on what she did, on what she brought for the country.
no, no.
Like my brother.
I'm not saying we have
Case
to
in
talk
point.
about her.
No, 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 no. Like no, I'm,
She
I'm
has
trying
like
to
50
justify
million
why.
pesos, dude. She's
I
fine. She doesn't need us to talk about her.
Exactly. Because case in point, my brother is now focused on how much money she's making. Ang gidonate ni Kuan in ani niya si Kuan ni ako yaway. Sus na pagin ani, I'm like, hey, that's not you. What? Who the hell cares? She won the gold medal. That's the end of it. Don't stop talking about the money that she's gonna get. That's
May
her
utang
money.
ba si Heidelin? May utang ba si Heidelin
Exactly.
sa'yo?
Unsa man utangan si
Kailangan
Heidelin sa
man
imo, ha? Right? So I mean, I feel happy for her, but if I start thinking about the money that she's gonna get, dude, I'm gonna feel bad about myself. I'm like, oh
Yeah, yeah,
crap,
yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
gonna be poor.
Okay.
Heidelin's gonna be rich now. So I mean, this one is a more what it's clickbait. It's like people would feel for this because at some point in our lives we've been duped, right? You've been duped at
Okay.
some point
Yeah,
in
yeah,
your
yeah.
life.
We have been duped. We have been duped. Yes.
I don't owe you
If you
anything,
think,
right? Because
yeah,
I don't want to be that person who
yeah.
duped you or anything.
Okay. So
No, no,
we're
I'm
actually
asking you a
taking the
question
side
first,
of Madame
right?
Escabeche here. Is that what you're saying? Because
No,
she
no,
feels
no,
like she was
no,
the
no.
one who was duped. She wasn't satisfied. Did you ever say that at like KFC? If you got like a little burger, or did you say that at McDonald's if the burger patty was too thin?
Dude, she
Did you
wasn't
say that
duped.
at
Come on, man.
Burger Machine when you found out that the buns were too dry, or whatever? Like at Taco Bell, when you found out that the person serving you wasn't Mexican. And
Okay, here's
were
the
you
thing. Here's the thing
ever?
about food. Here's the thing
Did you
about
ever say I'm
food.
not satisfied?
You can never be sure. You can never be sure. It's one of those risks that you take when you order from a restaurant or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's not that because you didn't like their cooking, you don't want to pay up.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever went into Afat and been like, oh my god, I don't like the way Afat cooks their food. I'm not gonna pay up. I mean, dude, you can't do
No,
that.
I like Afat. I love Afat.
I know, right? I mean, it's just an example. Like, of course, I know that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's a really good restaurant, but
but
then
I
you just
always
get
but I
go in
always
there and start giving them
but,
reasons that I don't like the way you cook food, so I'm not gonna pay up.
yeah, I have friends, or I have a friend who's always like, every time we eat out, he's always like, 150 na ni bay? 150 sa kakilo na ng baboy, bakuan na ni ba? Wa pa ni naka one third sa I'm like, dude, it's a
Hala,
business, man.
magpalitan sa
Of course, he's
kilo
not gonna
ng
give you
baboy.
exactly 1 kilo of
Dude,
baboy. What are you talking about? It's a business.
whoever told you to
You know?
come in here and eat? Go buy your baboy and
Di ka
cook
naman
it
di
yourself,
ka naman pumunta sa palengke. Did you just buy 1 kilo of baboy? So you expect to just pay
Brad.
150, you get 1 kilo of baboy. He's always telling
Gusto,
me this.
gusto mo na kag baboy,
Nagtawa
Brad,
ni
na malingkin na lang unta ka, Brad. Nya na malit na lang po unta kag sibuyas, bombay, ahos.
asa may karne rin, puro may carrots. I mean, it's a business, all right? Come on. But I mean, like I said, like what you said also, like we've all been victims of it. I mean, once you walk in a food establishment, once you order food, if you're just gonna compare it to like the worth of your money, as opposed to like if you purchase the raw goods and you just like cooked it on your own and made the exact same meal, of course your burger would be like this big, right? But like I said, it's a business, and they give you the convenience of the food being served quick. They give you the convenience of maybe a more consistent cooking style. And it's your choice. Like, nobody like forced you to go in there. Nobody threatened you at gunpoint and said, like, it's the same thing with clothes. Do you know how much your shirt is really worth when it was, manufactured in China? I mean, it's all the same with any product, but basically, because it's a business. But I mean, like I said, it's an opinion though. Like when it comes to like if you order something, and I think what happened was people ate it. And I think she
Yeah,
wanted to take the food back, and the lady didn't want to give it anymore.
they
I'm like,
ate it, and
I
I
thought
think they
you
loved it because if
yeah,
I mean, the lechon was already
you're
like
not. That's it.
the
That's where the
party's
issue,
not. I don't think the party
arises
already
from.
started. I mean, it was probably like a soft opening of the party, and the lechon was already like already half consumed. Like they consumed half of it, and it was still really bright.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
yeah,
the food must be good, but they were eating it and
yeah.
they were
But
munching it, and
even if it wasn't good, I
everybody
mean,
I
learn
think
from that.
they were
Okay, what would you
satisfied.
have done, Ice? What would you have done if you were
If I
Miss
was
Madame
the
Escabeche? What would you have done?
dude, I would pay up, man. I mean, you can charge it to experience. I mean,
Yes,
that's what you
exactly. That's what
owe.
I would. Yes,
What's you owe the
exactly.
person, you pay the
Yeah.
person, and then don't
Same
order
here.
from them again. That's the only thing that you can do.
Same here.
You can give them a
Same
really
here.
bad review, right? But
Hmm.
I think that's all you can do.
I mean,
Not paying them
just the
up.
internet's
Too.
just the internet service
That's too
alone
much.
in the Philippines. What everybody's complaining about the internet service. They're like, they
Right?
should not
Yeah.
charge me for this month because I barely got connection. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, you can always, but we all end up paying it anyways. We all end up because we don't want the hassle of having to reconnect and having another whatever and go through the same thing over again because it's not never ending. It's a vicious cycle. But what I'm saying is, you're right. I agree with you. That's exactly what I would have done too. It would be charged to experience. I will never have anything to do with that caterer or food supplier or whatever she
Yeah.
is
Give them a
again.
bad review.
But yes, give them a bad review, or I will tell her up front and say, the food
Yeah.
people don't really
I'm
like
not
the food. Maybe
satisfied.
it's a little parat. I'm
Right.
not satisfied, but I'll,
Right.
I'll pay you anyway. That's it. I learned from that. I'll give you advice because it's not like that lady's this biatch donya ng mga pagkain and she's like a multi-awarded Michelin chef or whatever, claiming to be having the best food. She was just like a regular, she wasn't even a caterer. You said she was just trying
And
to make ends
I
meet
think she
because of
told
COVID. So she was,
the lady too. She said that, "Ma'am, nagpa-cater na lang unta ka, ma'am." That's what she said. You should have contacted a caterer or something. You should
yeah.
have your party catered, but you didn't. You you opt for for
What was that?
online.
Was that like a karinderya? What
Yeah,
was it?
I don't know. I really don't know. It could be
I
like
felt so
food
bad for
panda
her,
kind
man.
of
I haven't
business.
seen the
I'm not
video
sure.
yet. I haven't seen the video yet, but I've heard the audio because my wife has seen it. You were watching it before we started the show, and just her voice, and she was shaking because she was like,
Dude, she was
it's like
losing.
confronting a
She was
yeah, it's like
crying.
confronting a bully. He was confronting a bully, man. She felt like, you know, in most cases here in the Philippines, the little people wouldn't do that. They'd be thinking, dato na, hindi ko babanggain yan, or baka ipa-viral ako niyan, sira negosyo ko lalo, or I'm just gonna, di ko na lang pabayarin, because I don't want that hassle. Especially when she dropped the lines about like complaining that she's not a registered business and all that stuff. It's like, it's good that she stood up for that. I think it was more about that. For me, it was more about that. It wasn't necessarily the business transaction, where she wasn't paid or the food wasn't good. It was more about just trampling on a person's pride, and her being a human being, man. I mean, like I said, and it's so obvious. If you look at the social status of the customer, and you look at the social status of this lady who was riding a tricycle just to, I just want to at least get this money back because maybe she has something allotted for it. And like I said, she already shelled out money to be able to provide that food, and she's going to be at a loss. And obviously for the little people, every little cent, every little peso helps. And I felt it. I felt it when she was shaking and she was like, she was going to stand up to the bully. And I think that's what it's all about. She felt like she was being bullied. She felt like she was being given this mental warfare where I don't like your food. And apparently this lady's like married to a foreigner dude or whatever. So there's maybe that entitlement coming in, or maybe she lived overseas and she thought like if you go to Starbucks and your coffee's not filled to the brim, you can complain and they'll give you, an extra coffee free.
Yeah, but that's
That's just not.
Starbucks.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
a
That's not how it is here in the
multi-million.
Philippines.
That's a multi-million-dollar company.
Exactly. They can guarantee stuff like that. It's not a problem. But okay, hold on. What's your take on broadcasting the whole thing live?
All right. Okay.
Oh,
So
the lady.
here's the thing too. I don't
But that
like
was
this kind
live.
of stuff, right? I think that yeah, like okay. Here's the thing. I think it's a mob culture.
I didn't know.
And
I didn't know it was live. I don't know.
no, I think she did Facebook Live. I think because she's just out of frustration and she didn't know what to do. She probably she doesn't probably know who to call for, or
Yeah.
who to ask for help. So
Yeah.
it's like she's in a situation where like, all right, I'm helpless. I'm just gonna do this. Okay.
Yeah.
I I I do not approve of that because I hate But then I was just looking at the whole situation. But yeah, John, you have a good question. I mean, that's a mob mentality. I mean, there are ways of
Yeah.
actually doing this without involving the
Yeah.
whole public, because
Yeah.
now
Yeah. Yeah.
everything seems to be like that, public
Yeah.
shaming. All
Yeah.
right. But then I
That's a
was
good point.
looking at
That's a
the
good point,
video.
John.
I was
Good
just
point.
triggered because like that person was just like she was just
Public
terrible.
shaming, like what we're doing now.
Yeah, I mean, no, we're talking about it. So in a
Yeah, we're not.
way,
We're not.
John was
Yeah,
asking the
we're
right
not.
question, and I'm like, all right, yeah. I mean, if we only have a safeguard for like the little people on how to go about it, you know what I'm saying? So I don't I don't approve of it, like what she did, like doing it live or whatever. But I'm okay. I'm sympathetic to her.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to consider, like, yeah, because maybe because she's a small person, she's a little person, so to speak. Like, I'm one of those little people and I can't do anything about it. This is my only way to get back at this person, this
Yeah.
bully,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was her way to like kind of, it was just her way to sort of protect her a little bit. That she was assuming that she just wanted maybe to have evidence that she was going to be there and that she's going to be civil about it, that she wasn't going to go there and be rude and all that. But she kind of just lost it too, when that lady, threatened to whatever. And I think that's why she did that. But you're right. The fact that it was live, she could have just recorded it and maybe viewed it later. But she did record it. Yeah, she could have recorded it, I think, but she did not record it. It
Right.
was live, so there's
I
like
think
no
that's I
chance
think
to
that's
redo that.
that's the better way. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
She
she
could
could
have
have
recorded
recorded
it.
that. I thought it was
And
recorded. I didn't know it was live.
no, I think it was live. It was Facebook Live. So, and people caught up with it and they got wind of it, and now it's on YouTube and whatever. And see, it's
Yeah,
also unfair to that lady. I mean,
yeah,
people, going to his house, to her house, stalking her, whatever, shaming her like over and over
yeah.
again.
And
That's
she
kind
was
of like
also
that.
like
That's
pissed in her own way. She was also
yes,
pissed in her own way.
yes.
I mean, we
I
don't know
mean,
what
even
her
after if
mindset
okay,
was, right?
even if she would pay the lady, if she would pay the caterer, not the caterer,
Yeah,
but the
yeah. It
reseller,
was already on live.
it,
It was too. It
yeah,
would be,
it's
yeah,
already on.
right.
Yeah,
Even if they settled,
it's
even if they
already
settled.
on the internet, and people would
Yeah,
keep on going back to her house and harass her and whatnot. So
that's right.
that one, yeah, that people, please. I even hate those friends of mine or on Facebook, and they just like, you know what I'm saying? They expose their dirty laundry on their news feed. That's just
Yeah,
disgusting, man. I mean, come on, keep it to yourself,
yeah, yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
don't post stuff like si koan, like you post a blind item and whatnot. Come on, man, you're better than that. I mean,
And the
posting
worst
these
part is
things,
there's
it's
always
it's
there's
not gonna
always
solve your
there's always
problem.
a friend will comment pangalanan na yan. Like
Yeah, exactly,
I'm
right?
like
So mob mentality. That's what I've been saying. This is mob
pangalanan na
mentality.
yan.
I
I'm like,
sympathize with the lady.
seriously,
I
you don't want to
sympathize
go
with the
and talk to the
victim in
person?
this situation, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, there's a better way of
there's a
going
better
about
way.
it.
There's a
Or
there's
just
a
like
better way of
recording
doing
it
it
and
both ways.
mhm,
Both ways.
true,
She
true.
the
So
lady
that's
could
why I
have
was
just like
saying,
you
like,
said.
if there's just a safeguard for these kind of situations, um, like the resellers can be protected, and well, I don't know the whole thing about like the loss of, like, I mean, the safeguards of the resellers or the online sellers and the customers themselves as well. Like,
Yeah,
it's not clear to me. I don't know how it works. So if people only know how to go about it, then nobody would have to resort to, like a mob mentality type of solution, which is like public shaming,
yeah,
which I don't approve of it. Public shaming does not
yeah.
work. It's not a good thing. And if you can avoid doing that, do not do that. Please avoid at all
Yeah, and
costs
it's
public
always
shaming.
funny and it's always easy to talk about other people if it's not your parents or you involved. But trust me, if it's your aunt, if it's your sister, and you know them to be good people or whatever, however positive light you see them as, and then there's that one time that they were on a negative light was shined upon them, and the whole world apparently saw it. Like that one time that somebody freaked out, or that one time somebody complained, and all of a sudden everybody saw it, and then you'll see comments, and everybody knows. Apparently, everybody knows the situation, even if they've only seen a 5-second clip. Then you're not going to feel the same way. I mean, you're going to be like, you're going to be trying to defend that person, but it's going to be so helpless because when you try to defend that person, everybody's just going to like the mob mentality, like what I said. And I think in this case, this is a very gray situation because first off, it's about a product, it's about food that did not satisfy the customer, so she refuses to pay the half or whatever, amount that she was about to pay or obligated to pay. Now, on the other hand, the service provider, whether she was a reseller or whatever she was, you know, standing her ground and saying, I provided a service. I cannot really predict but that's why they have contracts. That's why they have agreements. That's why they have, you know, That's why there's a DTI. That's why there are regulations being put up and all that stuff. Not necessarily to protect, but more of like as a guideline, for people to follow. I mean, even in the events industry, even in the events industry, there are of course gray areas too. Like I said, like it comes to hosting and all that stuff. Like what credentials do you show your client? They always ask me, do you have a video of you hosting? Do you have whatever? And I'm like, okay, so don't assume that everybody knows who you are. But in this case, for me, if you're a decent person, if you are living a more comfortable life than this person that you are confronting at the moment, and it is your first time to work with her, and it wasn't, hideously grotesque of a meal. It was actually edible. Maybe the flavor just wasn't spot on, or whatever complaint. Maybe the serving size wasn't that big. Come on, you've never experienced that in a restaurant? I mean, like what I said in his opening, we've all been duped. All restaurants do not give you the exact value or worth of the money you're paying. They're not going to give you an accounting of the oil they used, the wages of the waiters. They're just going to put the title there, chop suey, 300, and be like, malas chop suey, puro laman ni Baguio beans or whatever. I mean, like I said, it's, you put up that restaurant and you pay for the walls and you pay for the decorations, you pay for all that stuff. You pay for the permit, but in this case, if you're a decent person, it's all about common decency. If you're a decent person and the person approaches you and tells you, Mom, you have a payable, I'm here to ask you to settle it. And then you're given the time to explain and said, I'm not satisfied. I don't even think, was there details on what she wasn't satisfied about? Was it the serving? Was it parat? What was it? I didn't see the video, so I can't really.
It could have been the serving, because the lady was saying that, well, it's not my fault if your visitors eat a lot, I mean, or they eat that much. So maybe, I don't know. It could be with the serving.
Yeah, well, like I said, if it was a serving, then I've always been like, it's always a hit or miss. Like we've had food catered, and you're always like, okay, how many expect natin, babe? Like my son's birthday, expect natin. Okay, sila mama lang naman, sila ano lang. Okay, so let's assume at least the most would be 25 or 30, right? Let's order for 40 or 50.
Right.
And the food will always be more than, it's initiative mo na yan, di ba? Especially if it's your first time to order at a caterer or what food service provider. It's your first time, right, to order.
Right.
Always order more than, always assume that the serving,
that's true.
Right?
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Well, especially if you have a party. I mean, if you have a party and it's a big deal to you, are you going to risk it with a first time caterer or whoever the food provider was? You're not going to take a risk. First off, you're going to go with a familiar name. You're probably going to go with a popular name. But in this sense, she took the risk, and all of a sudden she's not satisfied. Like, how would that caterer or that food service provider know what satisfying is to you, right? Di ka naman suki, right, Ice? Because right? Di ka naman suki. How would, right?
Yeah, that's true. Okay. John, seems like you know a lot about this issue. Okay, so
yeah, I know. Jong, ikaw ba yung caterer? Related ka ba kay Madam Escabitche? Ang dami mong alam, ha? Ilang beses mo na pinanood yung video?
Since you know a lot about this case,
we should have Jong on the show. I don't know anything about the situation.
Okay, hang on, dude. Would you want? Can you join us, Jong? All right. I mean,
can you play the guitar too while you're like responding? Sad music if it's depressing. Loud if it's intense.
We're not going to discuss details, names and whatnot, addresses. No, we're not going to talk about that.
Yes, baby.
But just like the whole context.
Say hi. Hi.
Hi, Rai. Hi. We're talking about people who don't pay up.
Hey, we pay up. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's your first time. There's always, what's that? What is this? Pay up? Is that? Show me the money. It's a bitsy spider. Jong, join us. Come on, man. Yeah, Jong's like questionable na rin from the start. 19K for 50 to 60 people.
What does that mean? Like,
may lechon pa, right? There's lechon, right?
But yeah, so what was she posing as, like as a caterer? Was that it? Did she give the impression that she was a caterer?
Hello, little baby. Hi, Tita V.
Yay.
Joe Boy from the UK joining us. What's up, Joe Boy?
Hey, Joe Boy, are you on a break?
We have Gab. Gab says her house in Cebu is now a local tourist spot. I
It
have
is.
friends
That's
who
what I
have
said.
photos with the lady's house. Yeah. Well,
Exactly,
okay.
right? So she'll get that visit from time to time now. Doesn't matter if she
Yeah.
paid up. If she
Because of the
sell it,
live thing. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, like it's
Gangster.
yeah,
West Side.
this is gangsta West
Crips. Bloods and
Side.
Crips. My son is gangsta. All right. So yeah, we want to get your feedback. V, want to get your
All right,
feedback.
Joe
Joe
Boy's
boy,
off today. So Joe
about
Boy's
the
off today.
situation.
Yes.
Yes,
How
baby.
about how about that situation?
If you don't know
That
yet, the
viral
escabeche,
viral
the
video on
catering.
Facebook. It's on YouTube now.
What is the
All
title?
right.
Like, if you
No,
look
I
at it on
just
YouTube, is there a title? Child care
no,
like
I just
Rod. Of
I just
course,
typed
hands on, man.
I just typed Maria
Yes,
di Nagbayad.
baby.
That's what I did. I just typed Maria di Nagbayad, and it came
Dude,
out.
cyber libel
Boom.
is real. Yes.
No, I mean there. What? How many Marias are there? I mean from the Maria I know. I have like what tons.
You know,
What the heck?
if I were her, I would definitely copyright that name. I would copyright that name. I think whether mom was a caterer, so I empathize a bit. All right, there you go. So he gets it. He gets it. He gets it.
Okay. But okay. Here's the thing. When you say questionable, like this is questionable in which part on the part of
Like
the caterer
19K is
or
too
on the
cheap.
part
19K is too
right?
cheap for 50 to 60 people, dude. That's cheap.
Is
In
it like
Cebu?
okay?
In
All right, in
Cebu?
Cebu, 19K.
Yeah.
That should be what?
Yeah, Joe Boy says both are at fault. Correct. Correct.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It also
Both
happened
are
with
at
a
fault.
K-pop fan who didn't pay the delivery guy just because of the limited edition paper bag that I did not know about. But like I said, social media has made everybody a Karen. We're all Karens now.
Okay, so John, what are you saying that 19K is cheap or is 19K too much? Merchandise that shit. If I
It's
was
too.
Maria, all right,
It's
okay.
it's not enough. It's cheap. 19K is cheap. Yes. Why are you looking at him for that? It's not your dad. Unless I know something, you know something I don't.
Okay, it's cheap. See,
Yeah,
it's cheap.
it's cheap,
Right.
dude.
Yeah, because
19K, you
I don't
can,
know. I have been gone for 13 years. I don't know. So okay, if
dude.
19K is questionable, then she should have that. That at least she should have an idea that it's not a catering service. That it's just like ordering food.
Yeah, that's like paying nine. That's like paying 19K for like a Gibson Les Paul. That's only the price of an Epiphone. You know what I'm saying? So she should have been wondering, okay, is this a Gibson Les Paul or a Gibson? What are those the fake Les Paul ones called? They're called something. But John knows that. But anyways, yeah, like I said, if it's your first time ordering, always give them room for error. Always assume the worst. Like even when we order delivery, like food for delivery, and we'll look at Facebook and we're like, try nothing to babe. And we get food and it's kind of
Right.
sometimes it's
Okay, Joe Boy has a
underwhelming, right?
point. For 60 people, lechon pa lang mahina 8K doon.
Yes,
Yeah, I
correct.
agree. I agree.
Correct. Unless it's lechon manok, then it's overpriced, But it's lechon
Hang on,
baboy.
okay,
So
love the analogy, but I can't relate. Which
yeah, we're talking
which part?
guitars.
Ah,
We're talking guitars.
I know. I heard Gibson. I heard other things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right,
Gibson.
this is what
Yeah, that's now I know that the fake Gibsons are Gibsons. The ones that are like they have the
Gibsons?
Les Paul. Yeah, the fake Gibson guitar, they're
Right,
called
so-
Gibsons. They look
Gibsons.
exactly like a like a
Right.
Les Paul, like a premium Les Paul, a standard,
even
whatever.
the font for the like
Everything.
like the font is
Ev-
like really
They,
similar.
they even have
Just
the booklets and
spelling is
everything.
different. Right.
No, it
Instead
doesn't
of
say Gibson on it,
Gibson.
but that's what. No, it actually says Gibson, but that's why a lot of people are getting faked out. The people are paying money for a fake one, and then they realize it
The
later.
spelling is the same as well.
It says Gibson.
But then they say it's not Gibson, but it's Gibson.
You have to know how to tell. Like Rolex says, like the fake Rolexes and all that stuff.
Okay, okay. So
Like a triple
they're
A
not even
copy.
trying to. All right, so it's actually like a fake, and
Yeah,
it's like
it's a fake.
All right, okay.
It's a fake. It's a fake.
I thought you were pertaining to Gibson shoes. Come on, Gabby. Come on, Gab. Come on, John's around. Why would we
Gibson?
talk
Are
about
there Gibson shoes? There are no
There
Gibson
is.
shoes.
No, there are
Gibby
no
shoes,
Gibson.
yeah. There are no Gibson shoes. Are there Gibson shoes? Gibby, no
so.
Gibson.
I think
There are no
that's short
Gibson
for
shoes.
Gibsons.
Gibbies? Those are
I don't
Gibsons?
know, like, that's my
Expectation, Lego, reality, Pogo. Yeah.
impression. All right, okay.
Or whatever Lexing or whatever, right?
All right. Sarah Lee, also caterer said that Maria knows how many buy-ins are
Yes.
there and how many kilos and all. All right. So see, okay, we have details. I mean, huh,
Mm.
both are at fault. But Maria got the brunt of it. If I was her, I would jump on this 15 minutes of fame and make merchandise of the situation.
Exact. I would too. I would definitely too. I would
Merchandise
like
that
guest on.
bitch.
I
All
would
right.
guest on TV shows or like have a vlog and all of a sudden and just like panindigan mo na lang yung pagiging like biatch mo or Karen or whatever, entitled woman and just like make fun of it and pay the lady, at least pay the lady, man. Come on, uh, learn from experience and just don't. Yes, baby.
All right.
Kawawa
Okay.
naman,
See,
bro.
I think there is. Gabby's right. Gibson shoes were my leather shoes during college. It's a brand based in Marikina. It's a local shoe.
Okay, got it.
So even if she was not satisfied, lesson learned. Just don't order from the same person again. Yeah, that's what we
Hmm.
said, right?
That's right.
Like, there's nothing
Kawawa
really you
naman,
can
right?
do. Just have to pay up,
Yeah.
give a bad review. Do not recommend that that caterer or that reseller, whatever. Tell them
Mm-hmm.
what happened to you. Share your experience. You can even
Mm-hmm.
write about it on your Facebook
Mm-hmm.
page or whatever. But pay them up,
I'm
right?
not Bobby. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. Word for word. I mean, that's what we would have done. That's what the decent person would have done. But like I said, maybe she was also fuming mad, thinking it's not enough food. I paid 19,000 and this is all I get. Maybe in the US or wherever she usually gets her catering service from, maybe 19,000 is like a lot of food. But like I said, she's that caterer is the first time that she's availing the
My
service
line
of. You
would
can't
be, unsa rin ni ma'am, 20 busog? That would have been my line.
Yeah, but
Unsa
that's
ni
kind
ma'am,
of that's
small size
harsh.
corner?
That's harsh to not pay, man. That's harsh to not pay. That's like I've never said that to a person. Like, di ko babayaran yan. Like I've never said. Like my mom would say that. My wife would say that. I would never say that. Like, di ko babayaran yan. I'm like, like nagpa-vulcate ka tapos yung isang tire mo na flat ngayon dalawa na. Mali ang gibulkit. Giflat tuloy yung isa. No, all I'm saying is I've had like worse service experiences. I've ordered stuff online and I got the product, it's totally broken. Like I don't even take a shot and put a bad review. Because you know why? Because I don't want the courier to get punished for it. Because they're the ones gonna get the brunt for it. People are gonna say, oh, it's the mishandling of the product. And I like the courier because he's a guy I see regularly now, and he delivers the same item all the time. And I don't want if I post a bad review on the merchandise or the selling site, then he's gonna be affected, and their names are there, their face is even
Well,
there
so
with
far
the
here
delivery guy.
in Japan, if there's something that you don't like about the item, you just have to well, because it's Amazon, so it's easy. Like you just click, 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 then they tell you what to do. You give it back, then no problem,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
hassle. So I don't know how it works there, but it's I mean, Amazon,
I never
Rakuten,
bothered.
it's the same.
I've never returned anything
So
online. I ordered a like a laser measuring thing where you just point the thing and when it whatever it hits with the red laser dot, it will give you the measurement of the length. I ordered
nice,
that. You know what I got?
yeah.
Freaking doorbell, man. Like an electronic doorbell. I
Okay,
I didn't even like.
that was the packing department's mistake. Could have been the packing
Yeah, but I
department's mistake.
I I, I looked at some ovens that for the wifey just to compare prices online on this like selling site, and I looked at the reviews, and you know what? Some of the people said there were people there who actually received a refrigerator instead of the oven. Another guy received like a rice cooker, and then I looked at the response of percentage of the rate of the seller rating. It was like 58%. So always look at the ratings of the store.
Mm, that's
Right?
true. That's
If
true.
they're new, if they have low ratings, man, you're good luck because you're taking a chance. You're always taking a risk. I mean, I took a risk with my PS5 purchase. I purchased my PS5
Right.
online, and I don't know, about the seller or whatever. The freaking thing arrived, man. But when it arrived, he was on a motorcycle. The guy didn't even have a van or anything. He had a motorcycle. He like tied the big box just in the back of his motorcycle. It was just there. And when he was talking, I'm like, that can't be the PS5. God, I hope that's not the PS5 because I'm expecting that thing's not going to be working. So when it arrived, when it worked and everything. So, but that was a risk I was willing to take. If if it ended up being a
Right.
scam, you
Oh,
know,
well, there you go. Lazada and Shopee return and refund policies are easy and fair based on personal experience. So it should be like,
yeah.
yeah, it should be easy. It should
You know,
be fair.
I have no
And that's
I have no
good. That's
problem
cool.
with their return policy. Like I said, I'm just concerned about the negative rating that the delivery guy, the courier, will get because I like the guy. You know, I see him all the time. He's always laughing. Sir, unsa naman po ni sir? Oh, pila man na? Bayad na sir. Oh, kana. It's like I like the guy. So if I post pictures of the item being, receiving it in really bad condition, everyone's gonna blame the courier. They're gonna be like, that's mishandling or whatever. But anyway, mahirap talaga ba sa service? At least for goods, you can return it, pero ang escabeche, nakauna, according to Jong.
Exactly. The lechon, nakaon na, katunga na ang nakaon.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
And then you
Yeah.
say, oh, ba't nyo
Definitely
kinain? Eh,
true.
hindi naman pala masarap. Paano namin malalaman na di masarap kung di namin kinain? Oh, di ba? Oh, there's always a counter.
Right.
Ah,
Sasaw
di
na,
namin
sasaw
kainin.
na. Sasaw na.
Ba't ang dami nyo kinain? Ba't nyo inubos? Para
Sa
sure
atin
kami na di
yata,
talaga
sasaw
masarap.
naman yung
Di ba?
istorya dire.
Para, dude, I'm making this up because I don't really know how the conversation went.
No. I mean, yeah, it's I mean, that's how people would have, um, you know, justify their not paying, whatever they ordered. So yeah, that could be it. I can see
Yeah.
that happening. Okay,
Yeah.
lami. Yung ni kaon man mo. Sa una pagkabalo ko may lami ko di na ako kaon.
Ay, naurot man lagi. Para sure. Wala, basta daig
Uh,
mulami later yung effect. Oh.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Gabby though. The courier is not affected to bad reviews in Shopee. I don't know lang sa Lazada. So yeah, I think it's the same in
Um,
Japan. Like nobody talks about a courier here. Like it's more of like
uh, yeah. I
because
think I
here's
think
the
you
thing.
can rate the courier separately, but when you do like the product, it will automatically give the same stars to the courier.
One time I ordered a sort of I think it's what do you call that? Those things that you put beside your bed. What do you
Vibrator?
call that thing? No.
Bilik
Uh,
mata ng kambing?
no, it's not a dresser. It's like those things that you put lampshades on.
Oh,
Bedside, what do you call them? Whatever. My
bedside
wife,
manners. A
crap.
table. Little
Whatever.
tables.
It's something that you put.
La mesa, la mesa.
Yeah. It's a sort of like
I know what
those
you're
things
saying.
that you put beside your bed, so you put your lampshades on, whatever. So I ordered two. Um, one was okay. The other one, um, one spare part was actually loose thread, right? So I can't do it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I wrote an email. I was like, oh, it's a loose thread. This, like this part, or one of the parts that you sent me is actual loose thread. I can't put one of the like one of the feet. So
Yeah.
the guy was like, all right, can you send us a video? So I took a video and I was like, right, okay, see, it's never gonna lock.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, they sent me an email. They were like, well, it's either we'll give you your money back or we'll send you another set of like that whole thing.
For
And I was
free.
like, all right, sure, I'll take the. So what am I gonna do with this old one? They were like, well, we don't need it. Like, you don't have to return it. Like, but we'll send you a new one. And I'm like, all right, are you sure? Yeah, all right. So they sent me a new one. But the thing is, without that, if you can't install that one of the legs, it's not
Okay.
gonna,
Yeah.
it's. But then if you glue it, if you actually like put like like those epoxy type of glue, like those
Yeah.
what do you call them? Like yeah, those things.
You,
Like if
you yeah. You know what I would have done, Ice, if I were the seller, if I was the guy
right,
who sent you the defective table, you know what I would have
right,
sent you?
yeah.
A pack of Mentos.
No, I
Just remove
actually
all
gave
the
it.
other three wheels and just Mentos.
I know. I was thinking about that.
Freshness.
Like, oh, maybe I could have like a sort of like, but then because they were sending us a new one, I was like, all right, fine. So I asked my friend Chris. I'm like, do you want it? And like, all right, I'll fix it. I think what she did was she like have those like super hard glue. I think that's what she
Hmm.
did, and she used it. So I was like, all right. So it was actually another table free because she was able to use it. So I was like, all right, cool. They were pretty okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but again, like what Jong said, it's different when it's like an item. If these are tech gadgets, but if it's food, man, it's just different.
Yeah, it's sensitive stuff.
It's
Yeah,
food.
food's
It's
always
different.
like unless you find like a cockroach, or something like that in the food, then that's definitely legit. I mean, like they're even like suspicious posts. Like sometimes people will post like may nakita silang insekto sa sardinas, lata ng sardinas or something, and then they'll share it on Facebook. I'm like, why do you like? Let's say that happened, right? Like what I said, like what I did. He emailed the concerned party, right? The manufacturer of the sardines or whatever. Don't go post it on Facebook. Ruin the company, ruin whatever for that. I mean, yeah, of course it's a terrible thing, but that's a factory, in the Philippines, and there, things happen, and when you pay 12 pesos for your canned fish, that 12 pesos is not going to be canned the way $100 Spanish sardine straight from wherever is going to be canned, right? It's a different, much lower standard. So I'm not justifying that, but we don't even know if that person put that freaking insect in there, right? And then shared it on
Right.
Facebook.
Right.
It,
All right,
you
okay, Joe
know,
Boy has a point, like, or he has a question. How do you guys feel about Maria's outburst, though? Was it justifiable? Honestly, I can only see a handful of people on my feed that are in some way naiintindihan yung side niya. 99% bashers na niya. Well, yeah, well, she was very arrogant. So I understand why 99% of your friends are against her. And I think in a way I was like pissed off with the things that she was saying. Like even with the line, "Waka kailan ako?" Like you don't know who I am. I
yeah,
mean, yeah. I mean, what kind of a person would say that? I mean, who the
yeah,
heck are you?
yeah,
I mean, who cares? Just pay up. I don't care who you are. I don't know. I don't care to know who you are. But
yeah.
like
It,
she
it
was
could have
saying like
been it could
arrogant
have
stuff
been
there.
dealt with a lot better. It could have been dealt
Right.
with a lot better. But you have two
Yeah,
angry
she
women.
could have she could have
Two
asked the
angry
other
women.
person, the
And
caterer
the
or the
other one
room
was on her
service, like, can you
period.
turn
The
off
other
your
one
phone?
was
Can we talk? Can we go inside my house and can we talk as human beings? Like,
yeah.
can we
It
be
just
civil about this? But they were, like I think she was like very arrogant, from the very beginning. So I
yeah.
think that was it.
Yeah. The thing is, I think that's also an issue with Filipinos where mahilig tayo magchismis. We're quick to say something negative about a person, but we never say it to the person. So it builds up, and we get all emotional and we start thinking things and whatever, and we never get to settle things, you know, in a calm, decent manner because we wait until the issue explodes. We tell everybody else except for the person involved. So when you face the person involved, all of a sudden you're bound to have an outburst. So I think the thing is, the first time the issue starts, you should have called that person already. You should have, but I think she did, right? But she wasn't responding or something, or she said she wasn't going to pay. I think she called her already. That's why she had to go there. I
Yeah.
think she called the lady who wasn't willing to pay, and she said, "I'm not going to pay." That's why on her way there, well, when she was recording it, or when she was doing it live, she was already kind of on the verge of sort of not freaking out, but crying because she was so emotionally taken aback by that lady saying, "I'm not paying." And then when she went there, yeah, you're right. That's when she said, "Kailan ako, i-complain ta ka, or I'll report you, whatever, whatever." And she said something about makatamak, like, anak naka makatamak, anak di mo style, ma'am. Something to that effect. And I think that also triggered the lady. So I don't, like I said, it's,
I mean, it's a business. You
you know,
agreed to pay for that amount. I mean, like you ordered online, you clicked okay, you said yes, you agreed. So that means you agreed to pay for the whole freaking amount. It's 19K. You made a down payment of 9,000. So, I mean, right before the order was actually, like, or the order went through, right before that, you already said yes, you
mhm.
agreed. So that means you owe that person some money. And for you not to pay them, that's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but what, like, what do you call that? Charlotte, help me out here. Can you ask the judge?
You're, yeah, not lawyer anymore. So
Yeah,
he
I
can't
know
help
because he's a
us.
judge. He was a lawyer. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah. What
judge.
would be his take on this? What would be his take
Yeah.
if they both were like, and he was King
What can you
Solomon and he had to
charge? What can you
decide?
charge that person if they don't want to pay up? What's the charge? It's not estafa. I don't think it's estafa. That's too much.
Dude,
Well,
apparently he can't
what?
go to jail in the Philippines for like owing money here, right? Isn't that a
Right.
thing?
I mean,
Like he can't
what
go to
breach
jail
of
for owing
contract? Is
money.
it breach of contract? Is it sort of
Did
contract?
they even have a contract? Remember when she said you
I
don't have a
mean,
recibo?
well, the moment that you clicked on yeah, I agree, I agree. That's already an agreement. Yes, that's a contract. Both parties agreed
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
I'll
but then
give
she will
you.
counter that you're running a business that you're not licensed to. And then she will
Oh,
say,
she had a
"Well,
permit.
then you
She had the
patronize
business
a
permit.
business." Oh,
She's
she does.
licensed to
Okay,
run that
well,
business. That's what
well,
she said.
there
I
you
have a
go.
business permit.
See, I didn't see the whole video, so I didn't
Okay,
get
hang
all the
on.
details. But
They offered her a refund, but she took the food package anyway, since wala daw siya mahanda sa party niya, and her guests are there na. See, they even offer her a refund, but then she took the food package anyway. Then pay for the whole thing. I'm triggered.
triggered,
I'm triggered.
triggered.
I'm triggered. I'm triggered. I mean,
Puso
I
mo
just can't
pare, come
stand people
on.
like that. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't stand people like that. I mean, it's like, yeah,
Mm,
you ordered something, it wasn't delicious, suck it up. Don't order from that restaurant again.
yeah.
That's just the
Yeah.
way
Don't
it
order from
is,
that again.
right?
I agree. I
You
agree.
order something, then you don't like it, but then it's already there. Charge it to experience. Nobody forced you to buy it. Ah, here it is. My
I agree.
sister. Gitago pag yun ang cordon bleu. Oh, see? Di- that part was funny.
Was that the
Ma'am,
one
mo pag
hanging on her
git-
ears or something? Oh, there was a meme about that.
it could be.
Like
Could be the cordon bleu. Oh my god. Right? So she
to
probably liked
prove
the cordon
to
bleu.
prove. So she has evidence that it wasn't good. She will present it to the barangay captain or something. Oh, testing eh. Wait, let me. Tunga na lang man eh. Anyway, it's still good to check the products before you buy, like ask recommendations. Yeah, that's
Right.
it's on you. How does
That's
that?
what
Okay,
we're
how does the
doing, guys. Like
DTI
if we're
work with that?
ordering.
If that was a full on caterer, how does the DTI work with that? Like, I mean, can you not pay the caterer if you think the pancit wasn't really delete daw worth it? Well, yeah, those lines, those are very kind of like
I mean
it's
that's what
right.
she's trying to say. Like not worth it, but she's hiding
It's
the
so
cordon
vague.
bleu.
It's, it's so
Yeah. Agi
vague.
nako, wait, let me.
It's not worth it. Di ko satisfied. You could even like mention one negative thing like
You know
parat or
how you do that with your siblings when you have like food on the table, or let's say for example like Dunkin' Donuts, right?
we try to
You have Dunkin'
discourage them.
Donuts.
We try to
Yeah,
discourage
you're
them.
like Manila. Then your brother would be like, all right, really? Wait, let me. Kuha lang na. Ano, dude, you're trying to discourage them from not eating it, but then they're like, they're
Yeah,
they're they're
they're on to
smarter than
you.
you are.
They're on
Yeah,
to
mas
you.
maro sa imo. So, di lami.
Yeah.
Kuha lang na. No, 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 no,
The,
right?
mo- the more you say that, the more they will suspect that it's actually really good.
Exactly, right? So,
Aha, why is he, pretending it's not lamig? So it must be really
it's
good.
not worth it. Asa ang cordon bleu? Ambot. Wa pa
Ambot.
order ng cordon bleu.
Ma'am, napakayam diri, ma'am. Ay.
Asa man ang cordon bleu? Sim, pataka mo kag surya. Unsay mo gisulti?
So, man si mong bulsa, ma'am. Sama eh. Oh, well. All I'm saying is
Maybe that was reserved for the VIP guests. For the VIP guests. What the heck? Oh my god.
oh, nakalis na yung caterer. Labas na yung cordon bleu. Oh my God. Anyway, all I'm saying is it's not worth 19,000, man, being viral over this thing and being called Mrs. Madame Escabeche, whatever. I mean, like,
Madame Cordon
whatever,
Bleu.
however this thing turns out, it's not worth 20,000 pesos. It's
No,
not
it's
worth
not. It is not.
100,000
It is
pesos.
not.
The
It
shame
is
that it
not.
will bring you. I mean, it's like if that was my mom, I'd be like, Ma, you deserved it. Like that's what you get. Now you know how the world works. Because I mean, like I said, like there's always somebody taking a video of you. If you're spanking your kid and you've never spanked your kid in your life, and you did it that one time because you're so stressed out and your kid's like freaking out, and somebody apparently takes a short video and posts it online without your permission, without finding out what the situation was, without even asking the kid if the kid was okay with it or whatever, and all of a sudden you get picked up by Batay Bata or whatever, child services. It's you just have to be careful now. I guess it's like even when we raise our voices in the house, I have to like be careful because there might be people like riding bikes or running around. They're thinking what's going on in there. But that's kind of like how I regularly communicate or stress a point. I raise my voice because I grew up in a family of lawyers. They're always shouting at each other in the dinner table. So I just grew up with that environment. But here it's a small community. The houses are close together. Definitely not as big as the house where I grew up in. So I kind of have to tone down my voice. And I think with that lady, we probably knew that the camera was or the phone was pointed at her. She probably knew that there was but I think she did not fear that she was the one that was going to go negative in the viral. She probably
Oh
thought
man.
like she was going to be on the right because she's initially the complainant, right? That she wasn't going to pay. Okay, hold on. Nag-sorry na siya and asked for forgiveness sa netizens sa nagbaligya. Pero nahilis na lang escabeche lechon con luwa, gyapon mi bayad. So, okay. I think the bottom line here is just settle. Settle
Yeah.
the payment.
Kaon lipay-lipay, bayad likay-likay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hantod
That's yeah.
away.
I think a lot of people assume that she was trying to get away with a free meal. Like that's the style, like people assume that. And I would like to give her the benefit of the doubt that,
I think I
you
think
know,
so because that's what the reseller said to her. Ma'am, ana
yeah,
na
style
imong
ni ma'am.
style, ma'am.
Yeah, I know.
You heard it? Mo na imong
Kita ni
style, ma'am.
agresibo. Kita ni agresibo. I know that's
Mo
what I'm
na
saying.
imong
It's
style,
like,
ma'am. Sa yung style ni Morod. Mo na imong style, Rod.
dude, I'm different, man. I pay even if I don't get the product. That's the thing. Para may utang sila sa akin. All right. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's about common human decency, I guess. If you talk to somebody and it's over a service rendered, and she wasn't ripped off, the food was brought there. She couldn't even specify what exactly it was that was bad about the food. She just wasn't satisfied. That's kind of
It
like
was so vague. It was just, oh, it's not worth it. Like, not worth it how?
yeah,
Tell me
like
how.
what you pointed out earlier about hosting, which we
Why
do,
lami?
which we're
Yeah.
event host, and the couple would tell us like we host a wedding, and the couple afterwards give us a down payment of, let's say, 1.5 or 3,000, whatever, and owes us like 7,000, and after the event, the couple refuses to pay, and they'll say, well, I wasn't satisfied with your hosting because the wedding of my sister, the host was what's his name, and our audience laughed. I'm like, heck, if I knew you wanted a comedian, then I could have recommended one from one of the freaking comedy clubs here. But apparently, some couples want that. But I will take that and learn from it, because I did not really shell out money, at least for that particular event, except for the gas money and maybe if I put any products on my hair or whatever. That's it. It's mostly my experience. That's what I'm being paid for. Um, so that lady that we all kind of sympathize with, she shelled out money, man. She probably even borrowed money pang capital sa negosyo na yun, you know, and
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
and
So that explains
that's
why 99% of, I think, Joe Boy's, Facebook friends are
friends,
like up in arms against this Maria lady.
yeah.
Yeah, the
It's just the
internet is
vibe that came
undefeated.
off. Yeah,
So, well, okay, Joe Boy, how can you merchandise that shit, so to speak?
like
I mean,
like own the cup, the trademarks to it. Allow yourself to be photographed, do photo shoots, like sell exclusive merch,
this
endorse
is
a
how we
product,
roll.
make it
It's not
funny.
worth it. Yeah.
Like Madam Auring, may asim pa. I mean, really, right? Like it's kind of like Madam. It's like Madam Auring may ask, but it's very like associated with her, and it's I don't know if Dato Puti used that or whatever, but it's very nakaka-resibo. Yeah, see exactly.
Rod, you
Nakaka-resibo,
better
Rad.
you better make receipts now. You better make receipts now. You go to
Ah,
a printing press
oh,
or you print your own
why resibo?
receipts,
Sibo sa McDo, Sibo sa KFC, Sibo sa
DTI or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's we're connected with the coordinators. That's already an issue that was dealt with. It's with the coordinators that we work with, because I don't you know I'm hosts are usually suppliers and they're tied with the coordinators. It's rare that I get bookings from the couple themselves, and when they do, it's usually a sure thing, because when couples book a host directly, that means they already know the style of the host. That means they prefer that host because they will
Right.
directly contact me, even if the coordinator is referring a different
Yeah, and,
host.
and for the most part, if it's like direct, usually they pay in advance.
Yeah.
I'm not really comfortable with that. Like when they pay me first, they always like, all
Yeah, I
right,
know,
okay,
may
I'll give you the money,
tinatamad
and
na
I'm
ako.
like, no,
Tamad na. Buwan na ilamin.
exactly right.
Good
This
evening,
is so
everybody. All
tamaran.
right. Dinner na. Dinner.
Yeah, like I've had that so many times. Like, all right, no, Iceman,
Buwan na
here's the
ilamin.
freaking money. I'm like, what? Like, no, 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 you can give it to me after, but no, we'll just give it to you now. And the event's like 2 days later. I'm like, come on, no,
No,
don't
it's not
give me
even
the
two
money
days later, like a
now.
month. It's like a
Yeah,
month later. Because you're like at the suppliers meeting. And then what? And
we'll
then
pay
you
you now. Like,
you
no,
have
pay
to
me after I do my job, please. I always have issue with that. Like they always like they pay you, way ahead, days ahead. I hate that. Well, at least they pay, but all I'm saying is like let me do my job first, then pay me.
Tata Marina, ayaw na mag-host.
Ano, ano naman to? Di bayaran masuko, bayaran po din mas masuko. Unsa man ni sila?
Di bayaran, pangit mag-host. Bayaran, pangit yapon mag-host. Yeah, I get you, man. I get you. It's like it's waiting for your professional fee, to be handed to you. That's the thing that makes you kind of like grind it out, right? Extend pa konti, extend pa konti. Oh, ano, 18 roses, 18 candles, 18 ano, yeah, go. And then you know, and then you find out that you're not getting anything anymore. There was one time I actually hosted a wedding, and I hosted like straight, like how many weddings straight, and
Right.
we were at Marco Polo, I think. Yeah, Marco Polo, and I hosted a wedding there, and the couple already paid me, and I forgot, like I didn't know, like I totally like spent the money already, and I asked one of the coordinators, or at least the assistant coordinator, because the assistant coordinator approached me and said, "Nakuha mo na yung ano, sir, ah?" And I forgot that I was already paid during the suppliers meeting. So I said, "Ah, wala pa." Ah, dahil lang, sir, ah. So he approached the bride. And afterwards, I was sitting there. I saw the assistant coordinator approaching me. I could tell by the look of his face, like he was just embarrassed. And he didn't even have to say anything. I was like, I'm sorry, because like I forgot. So I was like, oh man, like you go home empty-handed, because usually
Thank God.
first,
Thank God.
yeah,
This was before 4G,
yeah, it would have been
and
a scammer.
like how many Mbps signal? You would have been Facebook Live. If
I
Facebook Live not,
host na scammer twice humingi ng
they're like
na
you're
bayan.
like sitting there, doing number 4 or whatever. Then they like, they've been videoing you, like they've been taking videos of
Ang
you
kapal ng
from
muka.
far. Kinanang bagagnaw. Naningil na pong utro, gibayaran na gani.
Paid in full
So,
already.
all right, I
Hindi pa
know.
daw bayad. So I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I mean, it's like, oh God, I'm sorry. Boyet,
All right,
sorry. That's the name of
all right,
the.
okay. Charlie, she's saying also she was the one who went up against Maria while the reseller jacked up 2K on the price was not even there. Uh, what is this about? It was Maria and the reseller who made the 19K deal. Right.
Shara really followed this. Shara
I know.
followed this
Okay,
like
now,
this
now I'm
this
lost, Charlie,
telenovela,
I'm
man.
lost. All right, this, I don't know what you're talking about. Like what?
How
There are
long was
three
the
people.
freaking video, man? How long was the video? I mean, how much
I know, like
information
what?
did you people get?
There are 3 parties in this situation. Na kay resibo asa ang cordon bleu dili worth it. Sagpaon og iskabeche, monetize this. All right, okay. All right. I can relate to being paid in advance. Yeah, right. You don't want it
Mga
because
pictures,
you
wala
haven't really
lami.
worked for
Mga
it.
pictures ni Kama.
Right?
Tiil na
Way
lang.
lami, piskot. Sige lang kay
Mga sinog,
pasikaton
mga
ta ka,
nom.
ma'am. Sige pasikaton ti ka, ma'am. Oh my God.
Oh my
Marami
God.
ako.
It's like,
Okay, Shirley has time. She has time, of course. I mean, okay,
yeah.
see this term too, like pasikaton ti ka, ma'am, or like ipatulfo ti ka. See, I think if you think about it, um, this all started like way back even before the internet. Like this is what Tulfo has been doing the whole time, embarrassing people. Getting recordings and whatnot, and that's why before it was like sort of I have mixed emotions, mixed feelings about this sort of like approach, even way back about like the Tulfo thing because yeah, in a way it can like sometimes like when these people who are recorded, sometimes they're like really awful people, yeah, and you get really pissed, but then sometimes it can really get out of hand too. So it's kind of like I know there's always like there are proper ways of dealing with these things, legal ways of actually going about it. So
Yeah, but
I
then,
would
like the
say
masses
like
don't have the masses don't have that. Immediately they think of suing somebody. They immediately assume you got to have money. I mean, it's not, and
right,
I think a lot of people just have that. It's kind of like parang pabarangay lang naman yan eh, exactly. And the rule of thumb is if it's a minor complaint, it's a minor issue. If it's
yeah,
just someone with your
yeah,
neighbor
it would
seeing a
end up
video,
in the barangay.
always take it to the barangay level. It's barangay level that you can take it to the next. Then the court won't even entertain it, or a lawyer will just recommend that you settle it, out of court, because there are certain issues that's not even worth pushing a case for.
Mhm.
And I think in this particular case, I think that, like I said, the masses, they've gone to the point where they have issues that they want to complain about, and they want to get validation for their complaint. So they cling to a person of authority or power or of celebrity status to sort of validate if they do have a reason for their complaints,
Then
or at
go for the
least
mob
bring it up.
mentality, yeah.
Yeah, they go to the mob mentality. So, and that's why, like, if you watch shows like that, it's not like news or anything heavy. It's
Okay.
more of
So
like
Gabby is also
nanga,
following this heavily.
si Mrs.
Tulfo re-
nangabit, all that stuff.
oh yeah, yeah. I am.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's
it's
too personal then.
but he will always just pass it on to a person of authority. He'll always like contact a police chief, or he'll always. It's not like has any power whatsoever to do anything. He's just this guy who will just be, you can approach my office and you can sign up and complain about this like VIP guy who's parking his car in front of your house and threatens you with bodily harm. I mean, what's a guy to do? I mean, call a lawyer and it's just. And that happens in the U.S. too. They have shows like that. The Morton Downey Jr. show. They have a lot of big fights happening, but these shows are usually done like around noontime, and it's usually like complaints about
Like
child
Jerry
support, complaint
Springer.
people fight. Yeah, there's even the People's Court or something where the judge is actually already retired, so there is really no weight in his decision, but he can make recommendations, and it's just kind of showing people like what judgment would be made if it was really taken to the higher court. And it's a retired judge the whole time. So they have it on TV, and he will just sort of, and it's a sensationalism, man, and it's a form of media that's
Pathetic.
not really
That's
falling
pathetic.
under the. Yeah,
Well,
it's
Gabby's
but
following
like
this, and he's saying that Tulfo tried to mediate, but the other party didn't agree to it. So, all right.
okay, hold on. Basi wala yung lawyer mo represent kayo, basi di mabayaran. Exactly. Cater nga, di mabayaran, lawyer pa. So
All right.
maybe she was saving the
Okay.
cordon blue for the lawyer.
Maria already tried to file a complaint at the police station for defamation, but it was referred to the barangay. Right. See? Yeah. According to Joe Boy, on point. Right.
So there you go. The barangay. It should be it's a barangay level thing. Issues like that. We've dealt with issues like that with our property before. People were putting up stuff, and it's on a property line, and it had to be. There was a barangay hearing that was dealt with. Because I mean, if you're just gonna argue about it or fight about it, then threaten each other and whatever, no legal decision will be made. It's pointless. You can't just claim the land and say, "Hatag ni sa akong lola, nasa mong mother title." But then again, there is a legal clean title. So somebody in your family, probably forged a signature of your lola or something to sell that. But then, the burden is on the family. But anyways,
True.
in this case, it's a small issue. It's 10,000 pesos that's, at stake here. And we're talking about it. We're like miles away. Joe Boy's in the UK. He couldn't care less. But, we've made an episode about it. And I think the bottom line here is the lesson to be learned is common human decency. I think
Right.
always
It's not worth it.
give the
It's
benefit
not
of the
worth
doubt.
it.
It's not worth it.
You go
Oh,
viral, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. And always give
Dude,
people a chance.
you've been saying that you wanted to go viral. Why don't we order and not pay? Then we go viral. Our show will go viral. We order something
The writer,
for the
the
show.
writer will put it on Facebook Live. What are you talking about? Go viral? I'm the one in the Philippines, dude. You're in Japan. Nothing's gonna happen. You're safe. You'd be like, I don't know that guy. Who's that guy? I'm not even Pinoy. I mean, you can deny your connection to me with.
Dire nagpuyo si
Yeah.
Rod Rodriguez. And nobody can follow me here.
Di
Nobody knows my
mamayad.
house.
I don't. Oh,
You've been talking about being viral or whatever. So I'm like, right, yeah. See,
not
so
in that
easy.
way. Not in that way. I mean,
Of course.
kung naman yung duha ka host, okay, so mo din na lang style.
Mo din na inyong style, sirs. Abi ba na ako mga... Right, yeah. Abi
Yeah,
ba na ako
well,
mga disente mga tao?
If they've seen the previous episodes, they know we're not.
Right? Oh,
But the bottom,
you know what? You know who's listening right now at this moment?
oh,
Ashik. You remember Ashik?
of course, Ashik Tay. Where is Ashik? Is she overseas now?
Freak out, right? You remember that
Ashik-
thing that we do?
Yeah, where does Ashik live now?
She's in Singapore. We
She's been
talked
there like
last night.
forever. Been there forever,
Dude.
right?
Yeah,
She
she's been there
married?
forever, yeah. No, she's
She
not married
married?
yet. That's what we talked about last night.
Ashik's not
She was like,
married
oh,
yet.
No, she's not married
Does she have a
yet.
kid? Does she have a kid? Dude, we're talking about people's lives here.
She wish.
Dude,
She
I'm
wished.
reliable. No,
She
Ashik
wish she
knows
has a
us.
kid.
Yeah, we miss Ashik.
No.
We should have her on the show. Ashik, come
Yeah,
on.
all of
I
a
mean, do
sudden
you
I
have
got a message
the
from her last night, and we ended up talking for about 2 hours.
Ashik? Join us on the show, okay? We want to know if you have the la at the end already because you've been in Singapore for so long. La, you know. I mean, there she is. I mean, I kind of I
Minyo
was thinking, what the heck
nakala,
happened?
nakayabla.
Kamu ba ni Lola?
She's in Singapore. And yeah, we
Lolo,
talked
gyapon
about a
mo
lot of stuff
pantila.
last night.
I
Right?
mean, dude, are we racist? Are we being racist by doing that?
I don't know. Well,
Because
yeah, I
like
think so.
that's kind of how I felt whenever I go to Manila for vacation, and my uncles there would like always tease me about my good and gani. Like, oh, dito na naman si
But
ano,
here's the thing.
si
Here's
good
the
and
thing.
Mr.
Okay,
Good and
here's
gani.
the thing. You can never be offended as the
If
people are
it's true,
supposed to be offended. No, no, no. I mean,
if it's
like, okay, some people. Okay, like we're saying these things, right? Some people would notice it,
la,
and they would be very offended, but they're not even that party. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I'm a Bisaya, right? And people
mm-mm.
would be like, whatever. They will make fun of Bisaya people and whatever. I never
Yeah,
really
yeah,
care, man. I mean, I never like I make fun of them too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But then
yeah,
some people
yeah.
will be like, "Oh, that's so racist. That is so." I'm like, "Oh, come on, man. They're just making fun." I'm like, "Come on, it's fine."
I'm
Like
not,
pisting yawa.
dude,
Like they always say that.
dude,
Like that's
dude. Both of
like
us,
as if everybody would say that. Like
yeah.
you know
Just to
how
make
in
it clear,
films, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like
Both of us. I'm saying like just between both of us. When I say like is that offensive, is that, dude, I know we don't get offended. Like we can take what we can dish out. It's more about the things we do that might offend others. That's more like my concern. It's like I'm not really concerned about being offended. I'm more concerned about like won't be
no, I know
offending other
that's
people
what I'm saying.
because I
Like
know they're not like us.
no, that's what
But
I'm
I know
saying.
you know.
It's the same for them as well. Like these people would be like, all right, who really cares? Like for example, like we all have these things. Like with Bisaya people, it's like the hard E, right?
Yeah,
Nobody gets
yeah.
pissed when like when Manila
The
people start
world's
talking about like
changing, man. The world
like oh
changing.
yeah, well those people, those are the people who don't really matter. They're like the people on
The
the
world's
internet.
changing.
They're not the real people. That's what
The
Bill
world's
Maher's
changing.
always saying. That's what Bill Maher's always
I
saying.
know. But the sad
Like
part is, people sympathize with these. Sometimes people sympathize with these people and take their side, and like, you know, and
yeah, well, you can't do anything
right.
about it. I'm like, whatever. I mean,
I mean,
that's just the whole point. Like some people, it's not even then they get so offended. And like people who are the ones supposed to be to get offended, they'd be like,
are not
"What are these
offended.
guys?"
Are not offended. Yeah, they don't
Exactly.
even
It's the
mind it.
same thing. Like nobody can be
Yeah,
offended for me. I'm like, no, just cut it out. It's fine. I'm cool. I'm fine. I'm like, you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably the same thing. So it's like us, and I would assume like like yeah, in a way like some people would probably get like pissed because that's
yeah.
how it is. It's not like oh god, like yeah, the internet now is just crazy. Yeah, even if there's nothing to it, they like make something out of it.
Like
Kapag
like the situation we're talking about. It's not
yeah,
really a big deal. It's just about unpaid, unsettled bill. But apparently this lady won't pay.
it's only
It was
escabeche
that
and cordon bleu.
it's all about food. That wasn't satisfying, but apparently, she. I mean, we don't. I want to see the whole menu and the price list. Anybody have a copy of that? Now, I'm not that I'm ordering or anything. I just want to see if it's like, what did she order? What was she expecting? How was this? How was this being marketed? Was she like, I don't know, like was
I
she
mean, it
advertising her
doesn't matter,
businesses like,
to me, it doesn't really matter because um, my sister, my brother, I've overheard them like when we're on, like on FaceTime.
yeah,
They talk and all of a sudden they order something. And they're like, "What? This is it?" Like they would complain. They would complain to death, man. Right? But yeah, they pay. It's like they'd complain, but that's it.
yeah,
And they'd be like,
yeah,
I mean, order diha. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, that's what you can do.
yeah.
Give a bad
You can take the
review if
step
you
of
want.
warning people that you care about. Like, don't even have to post
Yeah.
it on your
Like, oh,
page.
I'm order
Just
diha, whatever. Yeah.
yeah, just
Just like, see, it's just not paying. That's too much. That's just like that's on a different level.
yeah. And it's not like I said, it's not like she found something in the food like cockroach or whatever. There wasn't even anything extreme like that. The rice wasn't burnt. Apparently, she didn't mention anything negative about that. Or
Gitaguan
like
ganing cordon bleu.
that's really what I wanted to know. What was it that was not satisfying about? What was it? Like, you know, What was it? Because I mean, dude, we've eaten spaghetti, we've eaten fried chicken, we've eaten, food that was advertised to be like Louisiana cooking or whatever, and like Thai restaurants, right? I've been to Thailand. I'm no expert in Thai food, but I've eaten authentic Thai food. And it's pretty
Right.
authentic because I ate it in Thailand, right?
All right.
So I eat pad Thai here, and I eat whatever. Like there were like
Is
Thai
it
restaurants that
close?
opened up
Is it
here. No,
close?
not even, dude. Not even. It's like, I mean, I understand because maybe they don't have a Thai chef,
Here's the
but
answer to your
may lami
question,
ang-
Rod. Way lami ang kay kulang. Dili worth it kay kulang.
kulang nga eh, way lami. Naubos nga eh. Okay, supposedly everything only cost 17K, but there was a reseller involved.
I
Wasn't that
know what's
lady
2K.
going there?
That's
Wasn't
that
she
was
the reseller?
yeah. I don't know.
So
Like
she
she
was,
probably was the
I think she was
reseller,
the
or she wasn't.
she's not the caterer. She's the reseller, right?
Probably, but still, that's
Yeah,
yeah. That's all for her effort. That's her fee. 2,000 pesos.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I
That's
don't
for her
think the
trouble.
cost was the issue here. I think the cost was the issue here. I think the cost was just for her. She wasn't satisfied. That's what I want to know. Like, give me a run. What was not good about it? Okay,
Okay, she
now.
was the supplier. No, she was the supplier.
Oh, she's expecting that the food tray would be good for 50 to 60 people. At 50 to 60 people with an appetite of like 300 people,
She's
it's not
expecting that the
Vikings.
food per tray would be good for 50 to 60 people. Okay, per tray would be good for 50. What?
Per
No,
tray? Okay,
no tray
I
would be
missed that
good for
one.
50 to 60 people. One tray would be good for what? Two, three, four,
Okay,
five people? That's what it is. Depends on
here's
how
something I noticed.
how how big
Because
of
of
an
this issue.
eater your visitors are.
Like, tulad namin, like if you invite us, forget it. It's like, don't invite anymore. But here's what I noticed with caterers now. What they do is they usually, or not even caterers, like buffet places, they usually have a guy or waiting staff serving. So you can't like go there and get as much food as you want, like because if you go to like a party where they have like a caterer, that's like a Filipino thing where like, uy, masarap yung paella, banatan natin, boom, banatan. Oh, masarap yung crispy shrimp, banatan. So, of course, that particular dish, it'll be wiped out in seconds. And some of the more important guests that show up late will end up not eating any of the special dishes. So, what they do is they usually have like a wait staff, like some of the caterers now. And what they do is like they're the ones that will put the food on your plate. And you can just say, so I think it kind of controls the consumption
Then that's not a
because they're,
buffet anymore.
you know,
It's not
yeah, I
just
know, I
all you
know, but
can. It's not all you can eat. If they,
no, no, but
if
it's
that's
not
how
like
they
it's
do it.
yeah, but the thing is, if it's catering, it's not necessarily a buffet. It's just that
All right. Okay. So you're talking
you're
about catering. So if it's a caterer, then
yes,
all right. Okay, I understand that.
yeah.
I thought you were talking
When
about
I meant
buffet
yeah, when I
dinners.
meant buffet,
Like
I meant like certain stations they have that. Like for example, like at Vikings, they'll have a guy who will cook the shrimp, the tempura. It's not always or the beef. There's a guy who will cut because they know
all right.
these are
Okay. Not
premium food items.
okay.
Like
Some
yeah,
particular food, some particular dish, right?
yeah, not
Because
the
here in
whole
Japan, there's
buffet.
also like yeah, because we have
There are
the
stations, right,
yakiniku
where you
part
ask
was
them to
like
cook.
yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, these are the premium items, like like prawns and all that stuff, like steak.
Mhm.
Even at Vikings, you can't really just like slice off as big as you want, and then whatever. But here, caterers, I noticed they used to not have those guys like serve the food on your plate. Now they have a wait staff that do it, and because maybe of the issue of like I said, my time na malakas kumain, may mga trabahante dumating, lalaki, just like have a group of like three or four, 5 guys. Man, that those guys are gonna eat maybe 10 times the amount of like what the Lola can eat. So
Na ng mga
you can't
barako.
really, yeah, it depends. I mean, that's why it's always a scary thing for me to have food catered and then look at the serving size and they'll say good for 30 people. I'll always tell my wife order the one that's for 40 if we're expecting this many people because it's always good to have more food than not have enough. I mean, what are you gonna feed them? Lucky me pancit canton after,
Right.
right? It's always
Or
good
it
to have
could be
extra food. You
that the
can
person wanted the refill. That's why she wasn't satisfied.
may refill bang catering. I mean,
Refill,
you know,
refill.
on the fly, you can have them cook
It's
it.
not worth it. Can only refill. Oh my god. Jepoy is in the
I'm
house.
here. I'm like, wow, okay, thanks, Jeff boy. Wow,
Thanks,
now we can
Jepoy.
really do the show. Now we can actually do the show because you're there.
Ay,
Like
thank you,
we
Jepoy. Dumating ka
we couldn't get a
din.
we couldn't get a groove on until you arrived. I'm like, finally, Jepoy's here. We can do the show.
So, Jepoy, paano ba natin 'to sosolusyonan? 'Di nagbayad, eh.
Yeah, I'm sure he has an opinion about this. I don't think it's gonna be good. Yeah, we're talking about the okay, that issue with the catering
All right.
supplier or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
How
Cheryl Lee is saying for 17K the food package was enough, but not for 19K. I mean that. I mean, I guess that's why Maria complained. So for the 2,000 peso difference, is that all right? Okay. But then there was
how did she
somebody in the
compute
middle.
that? How did she compute that? Like did
No,
she
I
weighed the
think
meat?
no. I think from their argument, it was like, all right, the whole thing cost about 17K, but then there's a third party, the one who made it all happen. So it's like a TF of some sort. Then that's like
Yeah,
2,000 peso TF or whatever.
yeah.
Jepoy. Kasuhan o gari. 10, 10,951. Jeez,
Okay,
like
you all Google that.
what does that even mean? All right.
Probably possession of illegal firearms.
All right. Or illegal
Probably
drugs.
the only RA he knows.
All right, okay. Kaya sabi ni Marjorie, nagpa-cater unta ka, ma'am. I know, right? It would have been
Yeah,
easier for her to contact a caterer. That would
yeah.
have been the easiest
Well,
thing to
she
do.
wanted to save. She wanted to save. You know, she wanted to save.
And
That's basically it.
she even said that, "Uy, aron ka masayod, mao ni ang pinakadugyot party na kong gihimo sukad-sukad." Right? She was even bragging about it. That's why a lot
So,
of people are
so what is she saying?
pissed.
That's like the worst party, Dugyot.
Yeah, it was like the dugyot. It was like the
So
like a
what? Like,
Yagit party. That was a Yagit party for her.
oh no, it was a
It was
Yigit party
dugyot.
because of the food, or it was a Yigit party because that's the way she designed it to be,
That I do not know. That she could mean that because of the food that came, that's why it became like the dugyot party, or it could be like, oh,
or that she's
just
known for lavish parties, and that this was like
right.
nothing to me, so
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
afford. You know,
Probably
like
it
I
could
think
be that.
that's
Could
probably what
be
she
that.
meant, knowing her. Yeah, but we're not.
Right.
We're not experts at what that lady's thinking at that point in time. But okay, Republic Act. There you go.
Dato
So
man
he knows
di
what he's
ka
talking
ma'am
about.
nganong nagmantinir man ka?
What's mantinir?
Mantinir. Oh, come on, Rod. Mantinir
What?
hasyaro.
Maintaining?
Di ba? Nagtipid kung ano pa nagtipid.
Okay, I don't know.
Mantinir.
You know what? You know what mantinir sounds to me? Mantinir sounds like having a lover, like like maintaining a lover. Mantin. You know what I'm saying?
Like some
Like
sort of,
ng
but
bahay ng
not
babae
in
or
that
some.
context. Mantinir is like, I
That's
think,
kind of my
maintain.
understanding of what mantinir is. Uy,
Just maintaining. I
nagmantinir.
mean,
Saving.
uh, yeah,
Tipid. Tipid.
like
Nagtipid.
tipid. Yeah, nagtipid
Okay.
or yeah,
Mantinir.
mantinir.
That's a
You don't really
Cebuano
go for.
Bisaya though, right?
I don't know. It could be
I don't
Cebuano. It
really,
could be
I don't
like
hear
Davao
mantinir.
Bisaya. I'm not sure. Okay,
Yeah. All
Republic
right. So that.
Act 10951, an act adjusting the amount or the value of property and damage on which a penalty is based and the fines imposed under the revised penal code, amending for the purpose act what's this? Purpose what's act number 3815, otherwise known as the revised penal code as amended. What the heck are you talking about, Cabby? You just triggered me. Nagdinaginot is mantinir. All right, okay. All
That's why
right,
I didn't take up
thanks.
law, my friend.
Nagdaginot is mantinir.
Settle for
Yeah,
less.
nagdaginot.
Okay.
Right,
Okay. I
okay,
get it. I
yeah.
get it. I get it. I get it. All right.
Nagsettle for less. Okay, that's what Rod understands. Nagsettle for
Yeah.
less. All right. Don't
Yeah.
sell for less.
Yeah.
All right. A
So
shake,
even
don't sell for less.
so
Find the right
so
guy. Ayaw pag mantinir.
even the caterer supplier lady admits that we're just a low level, we're just a low tier kind of like entry level, nothing fancy kind of food service provider. She admits to that. She wasn't like promoting her product to be like we're the best, caterer,
Exactly.
whatever, right?
I
She,
mean,
she was like very humble about it.
I
Ganito lang
know.
kami, ganito lang rate namin. Tapos gaganunin mo pa kami, it's like,
Exactly. It's not like it's, you know what I'm saying? It's not like it's Starbucks. Like you drop your coffee
yeah,
and all of a sudden the people there were just like,
yeah,
"Oh, sir, can
yeah.
you replace your coffee
I
or
mean,
your
it's like
frappuccino, whatever?"
it's like going to Blue Carabao and expecting their bisek to be like filet mignon. I mean, come on, it's Blue Carabao. Blue Carabao's food is good though. I don't know if it's still around. Is Blue Carabao still around? I mean, people don't know Blue Carabao's like this obrero place where we went there, Ice, right? We would go have lunch there, right? Or we're
Yeah,
just up to
I had
Palamigan.
filet
Hanggang
mignon
pag
there.
Palamigan. Hanggang
I had
palamigan.
filet mignon there.
Filet mignon. Filet mignon.
I had filet mignon there.
Na may filet mignon. Kasi filet mignon, oy. Dito ato lang McDonald's, kaon dito chicken
Mignon.
nugget. May
Mignon.
chicken nugget dito sa McDo. Mali pala ako. Pataka, Jepo, in your RA, whatever crap. Anyways,
Jipoy, wag kang matulog sa klase.
may RA ka pang nalalaman, ha? Then Gab researched it, and like, it doesn't make sense. Adjusting the amount for the value of property due to penalties. Anyways, legal talk. All right, so how will this be best settled? At the end of the day, for me, bayaran,
Right.
and that's it. That's it. Bayaran, and just not patronize that business
Give them
again or
bad
give her
reviews.
advice.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Tell your
give her advice.
friends, word of mouth. Tell everybody that, hey, this restaurant or this particular place of business did not meet my expectations. So I would recommend you not to go there. I mean, that's the best thing that you can do. But not paying them, I mean, come on, man. You
Yeah.
ordered, you pay.
Yeah, and the negative feedback that she's been getting, it's not really more about like who's right, who's wrong with the technicalities here. It's more about like the vibe that I think came off when she responded to this lady asking her to settle her bill,
Right.
right, her obligations. I think it was more of that. Ang mali niya kay
So,
nag-live man. Yeah, go ahead, read it.
alright, ang mali ra niya kay nag-live manggod siya, di ba, against the law pud na. Both sila na isayo. Pasikaton ti ka, ma'am. May panisulod siya sa show business. Hawod man day siya magpasikat og tao. This is the most sasaw comment ever. Like, are you drunk? Are you drunk, my friend?
Here's the correction. She didn't do anything to make that lady sikat. She did everything on her own. The lines like "Paunta kay escabeche," "Waka kay ilan ako." Those are all her lines. Nobody gave her a script.
Right?
Nobody gave her a script.
Yeah, she
Those
just
were her lines.
recorded it. She just
You know,
recorded it. She put it on
do
Facebook
you know
Live, and
Khabib?
that was it.
You know Habib Nurmagomedov, undefeated, the Eagle, greatest MMA fighter in my book. I mean,
Habib.
it's Khabib, but I think they pronounce it Habib.
Yeah, right.
And
Okay.
he's Russian, and he just retired because nobody could beat him. He's such a humble guy, and
Right.
he's the greatest MMA fighter, and he's just a humble guy. And then he was interviewed about Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor's like all arrogant and everything, and just kind of high strung. We
Is
we
he the
don't
one
know
who
if it's a
defeated Conor
show.
McGregor?
He defeated Conor McGregor. He defeated everybody. I mean, he
Right.
defeated
Okay.
everybody, but
Right. He was
he
defeated,
was
so
the
he
one
defeated
that like
everybody.
yeah, he beat everybody, and he's But Conor McGregor was obviously his most highlighted match because the rivalry was like crazy, and people are thinking Conor was. But obviously, the thing is, he was interviewed, and he said the thing with Conor is he said that money doesn't change people. He said it shows who you really are. When you get money or when you don't have money, that's when it shows who you really are. Like if you don't have money and you act this way, that's your real color. If you're given a lot of money and you behave this way, then that's who you really are. It didn't change you. It just was waiting to come out. You were just
I would
not
have to
given that
agree with that.
opportunity to
I
come out.
would have to agree
That's
with
what he
that.
said. It doesn't change people.
I
It shows who you really are.
believe that. Just
Diba?
I be,
Kung mayabang
right on
ka,
point.
hindi ka lang makayabang kasi wala kang pera or wala kang posisyon sa gobyerno or whatever.
Exactly.
Hindi mukhang hindi ka mayabang, right? But once you're empowered, you have the money. Yep. Look at Pacquiao.
That is
He's
so
always
true.
been the same guy.
Yeah,
He has all he's a
yes.
billionaire.
Yes, that's why I like the guy, even though he
Sino
said
mayabang? The
something about
people
like
around
good
him.
people.
Right?
I still like the
Right?
guy.
I mean, so I like when Khabib was interviewed, I'm like, he's so right. Like and the thing, it also changes the people around you. It changes their perception of you. All of a sudden, like they assume, right? They assume like, okay, this person has money, mayabang na. Every little thing you do is scrutinized. Hindi ka lang nagpautang, mayabang ka na. Hindi ka lang nakasipot sa tapok, mayabang ka na. Others ka na, may bago ka lang sasakyan, mayabang ka na. It changes the people around you, but it also shows who you really are. And I totally agree with Khabib. It's like money doesn't change people. It shows who you really are. Kung wala kang pera, may itang ulo mo, whatever. That's why some people commit crimes just to get money, and other people work hard to get money. And then there are people that get a lot of money and they're humble and they're charitable, and there are people that have money and all of a sudden it's like, they're Mayweather or something. And I think that's what he's saying about Conor McGregor is like it didn't change him. It showed who he really was, who he really is to begin with. So I think I don't know what the reference is or how this is connected to the escabeche, madam, but obviously, I'm pretty sure if she wasn't living in a house like that and she wasn't, in the status
She wouldn't act that way.
financially, she probably won't act that way.
That's
In
very true.
fact,
Um,
she probably would have paid. She probably would have paid, right?
yeah. You were saying something about like that Habib guy, whatever. And I think
Yeah.
that's really true because I had a talk with like with my wife about this particular person. I'm not gonna say
Mhm.
his name on here, but somebody I know, and yeah, we were friends and whatnot, and um, we were friends in high school. Yeah, he had his like he had his moments, but still he was a friend back then. Then yeah, like when you say that, like when you have money, true colors come out, and we started having falling out when we were in college, and he started to have all these things, like cars, like, well, he like it manifested like all these things from his parents and whatnot, right? So a really nice car, then he's got those jewelry and like nice wallets, nice clothes, and he started hanging out with different people and not with
Yeah.
not with us anymore. I didn't really feel bad about it. It was more of like how he treated us after. It's not even like hanging out with other people. That's fine with me. But if
You're
you
happy
try,
for him. I mean, you
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
money
I'd
now.
be happy
You
for
have
him.
a car. I'm
But
happy
then the
for it. Yeah.
way the way he would talk to us when we would see each other, and the way he would treat me and my other friends, that
It's
was
like
just
you would belittle
unacceptable.
you. Like you would belittle
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that happened, and I was like, right, fine, F it, like I don't care. Then years pass and whatever. Then he lost everything. Like he
Yeah.
lost everything.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
car's gone, jewelry's gone, right? So he was at probably yeah, he was in a bad, well, not like bad place financially speaking, and he calmed down, he mellowed down and whatever. So I was like, all right, fine. I was civil and whatever, but then what was it? Hang on, like one of the reunions, I guess there was like some sort of like like talk about like, hey, because like our relationship changed after that, and
Yeah.
like one classmate was trying to like fix it. I mean,
Hmm.
the relationship is already like gone, so it doesn't need to be fixed. Like I say, like
Gone for you
I
or gone for him or for both?
now, I don't really care. For me, it's over. It's done. Like I don't really care what he does. I don't care who he is, or I just don't think about him. That's for me. Like I see him at the reunion, fine. I'm just like, ah, cool. But then all of a sudden, I got this like classmate starting, you know, asking me if like I could talk to him. I was like, no, what's there to talk about? And she was saying like, oh, she wanted or he wanted to fix things. He wanted to like, can you just like
Patch things
talk and
up.
become friends? I'm like, no, I mean like we're fine. Like, what's the problem? There's no problem. No, just like talk to him because it's like, no, dude, like, no, I don't need to talk to him. No, it's like, so they were like trying their best to get me into a meeting with him, but I didn't
Hmm.
go or whatever because I was just like, no, there's
Hmm.
no point. Like, there is no point. And they were like, well, then I was talking to my wife about this, and I told my wife, like, no, you know what? He's just like that right now because he doesn't have money. Once his money
Hmm.
starts coming back, the old self of this guy would come out. So I was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't. That's why I do not want to, like, like, I
Yeah.
don't want to rekindle the relationship with him. As far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, it's done. It's over. We
Yeah.
don't have to be
Yeah.
friends. And this is a
Yeah.
different guy I'm talking about than, like there was this other guy too. Yeah. But this is a different
Yeah. I
guy.
know. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So this guy was like, no, I don't. So I think you're right. Like he just calmed down. He mellowed down because he
Hmm.
lost his car, he lost his
Yeah.
jewelry, he
Yeah.
lost his
But his real
prestige.
self will come
But
out once he
yeah,
has all that back.
yeah,
Yeah.
once
Yeah.
he gets all that
Yeah.
back, it's
Yeah.
gonna come out. So I'm
Money
like,
doesn't
no
change
thanks.
people.
No thanks. I don't need
Money
that in
doesn't
my
change
life.
people. Absolutely. Money doesn't change people. I mean, it changes you maybe if you like come from dirt poor and become like super rich. It changes your status and
It
your
didn't
situation. Yeah,
change Pacquiao, man. Pacquiao
but it's
slept on
not gonna
cardboard.
change your heart. It's not gonna change your heart. I mean,
Exactly, yeah. Pacquiao slept on
you
cardboards, no food,
it's like
hungry. It
it's
didn't
like
change
there are
him.
people who are like, it's like you can see that a lot of Filipinos are
Still hangs
very
out
very
with Boo
transparent.
Boy.
Yeah, he was an ass. Okay,
He was
yeah.
an
So I
asshole.
mean, I think it's got to talking about Connor. So
Yeah,
it's
probably.
like,
I hope so. Not my friend, or not my
ano
ex
yan?
friend.
What is he? Well, what are you reading?
Like
No,
what?
no, he's
Like
talking
he
about,
asked.
yeah. He's talking about he's talking about McGregor. Not, oh,
I
your
know,
friend.
right?
Maybe he's talking
I
about your
hope
friend.
so. Yeah.
I, I'm
I
like, I
hope
don't
not
know
my
if,
ex-friend.
you know, but probably.
That's
But it's
surprised
so
that he's an
true.
asswipe. Your
Oh, your
friend, bro,
friend,
an
not
asswipe.
Ice.
Well,
Connor's your friend. Connor's your friend.
we're good friends, man. He's an asswipe.
It's
But yeah, well,
Umaman
joke,
lang
yeah,
eh.
you're right, dude. I mean, it's okay. Here's the worst thing. Just one, just this one. Like 'cause we're already talking about it. Like, okay, here's the worst thing. We were about to get in his car because he had this car now, yeah. So
Yeah.
this was when we're still like okay, right? So he's got his car, and like everybody's excited, like, oh, he's the first one to have his own car. So like, all right, can we get in your car? And dude, he's like Rod Rodriguez, an A wipe. You know what he did to
What?
us?
What? What are you
He
talking
didn't
about? What did
he
they do to you?
he didn't make us line up, but he was like, okay, pagpag nyo ang mga paa nyo ha, bago kayo sumakay sa
Hey, I don't.
kotse.
Hey, I don't do that. I'm not OC about my car. I just don't touch my radio
No, I mean I
and
meant
don't
about
open my
like
glove. Don't
watching
open my glove
TV.
compartment.
I was talking about like watching TV or
I
whatever.
know, I
So,
know, I know, I know, I
so,
know.
so he was like,
Hey,
so I was like, I didn't even take offense to that. I was like, all right, cool, because maybe like he doesn't want the car to be dirty or whatever. But it piled up and it piled
Like
up.
he
So I
really,
mean,
like
that
he
was
really, like said that to you guys, like is
he
it
said
treating you
that.
like you were like
Pag,
two
pag,
year
dude, he
olds?
was serious. He was serious. And that's what I mean, I didn't take offense to that at that
Damn,
point.
man.
But dude, it piled up and piled up and
I
piled
mean,
up.
there's a way to
That's
say
what
that
happened.
nicely, like ba ininay lang kuan ba ya ka nagpakarot. There's a nicer way to say it.
Dude,
Like
he's
it's not like,
just
hoy, ipagpag nyo yung mga paa nyo." I mean, that's
no.
like, what the heck are you, man?
There's just something about this guy. Like,
Just the way.
like
Okay,
there's just something about
not
this
good
guy.
vibes. Yeah,
Like then he said something to
not
my
a good guy.
brother at some point. So it was like
Not a good
he
guy.
was
Not
just
a
like
good
a
guy.
terrible person. He's not a good guy.
Not a good
I
guy.
mean, you know me.
Not a good guy.
I have long patience for people, right? But once they get to
Yeah.
that point, I'm just like no.
Yeah,
I don't need to take that shit in my
that's why I
life.
was gonna ask you, like, are you that type who holds grudges? Because you've always been like, you don't care. But I guess that's kind of like how you hold grudges. Is like it's not that you're holding a grudge. You just stop caring. You just stop. It's not a grudge. It's not like you're thinking about them and have a grudge. Because having a grudge against somebody is different. Having a grudge is like dumut ka. Like it's always hunting you. It's still eating you up inside. You're always thinking about, that person and you feel miserable about it. That's a grudge. But like totally just like wiping them out of existence, that's not a grudge. That means you're good.
Yeah, I'm just like
But I
the
don't want
grudge
to. I
comes
don't want
back.
to.
I think with me, it's I think it comes back when somebody tries to bring it up. Like I told you, like
Okay.
the case is always like somebody would bring it up and I've already forgotten about it because they don't
Yeah.
take a time in my life. Like
Kind of like
literally,
an
I'm
ex.
not kidding.
Kind
Right?
of like an ex girlfriend, right?
Sort of, yeah, sort of like
You
that.
think you moved on, and then somebody mentions her name, you're
So,
like,
sure, like exactly with the reunions, like, oh, can you like talk to like, where's this coming from? I don't need to talk to him. Like I don't, I've forgotten about this guy. The only time I would remember him if I see him at the reunion. And that's like one night. And the next day, if I don't see him, he's gone. He's not in my head
okay,
anymore.
let me ask you. In the reunion, I'm pretty sure it was catered. Was there cordon bleu and escabeche in there?
There was.
Pero nawala yung cordon
Aha!
bleu.
Tinago.
May dala kang
Biglang nawala.
backpack. May dala kang backpack na reunion. Ay, mo tayo backpack ka sa
Kay
reunion.
bilis naman
Para gayahin yung itsura ko
naglako ng escabeche
cordon
ni
bleu.
Lola. Pati pa ang cordon bleu diha.
Wala na. Hey, copyright strike, dude.
I know. You got me riled up here.
Reunion ka pa yan. Uuwi din pala sa cordon bleu. Indifferent. That's the best
That's the
word,
word.
I guess. Not a
Indifferent.
grudge, you're just
Yes.
indifferent.
Yes, I know, right? I mean, indifference.
I don't
That's
have
yeah,
any of those emotions. Like I don't have a grudge. I don't.
dude. You're me.
You
I
know
would
me.
look like I'm like cool and whatever. Yeah, you'd be like more picky, but I know you. You're the like yeah, I'm like you're actually much cooler than I am. Me, I'm just like yeah, I look cool and whatever, but like these
But
things
you're
that people do to me, it's always like it piles up and piles up, and when it gets there, it's just like no, I'm done with it. I'm over it.
Are you the type na pag pinagyabangan ka ng pera tapos magkapera ka na pupunta mo sasampalin mo. Oh,
I don't know. I don't do that shit.
Pero
Like, to me, no.
I mean, you're not thinking that like okay, this is what I'll do once I
Because
get.
I was
okay, all right.
raised. I was raised differently. My father never put value on money. Like it
Good.
wasn't always about money. My father never,
It's good.
like he would always tell us like, if you choose your friends, don't choose your friends because of like financial
Money.
like like
True.
financial status or whatever. It's like, no, it's character. So money is just
Right.
money. It comes and goes. Like, look
Yeah.
for people with good character. So
Maraming mayaman na
it's
bobo. Maraming pobre na matalino. Right?
exactly like
You
that. It's
know,
like it's the
they just have
character.
more.
It's
The rich people
how
just have
they
more
treat other
opportunities.
people.
Yeah,
It doesn't
they just
matter
have
if they're
more
rich. If they
opportunities.
have good character and they treat people nicely,
Yes,
that's
of
fine.
course. Yeah,
I have friends who are
yeah.
rich as well, and they're cool because they
Very
treat
nice.
people they treat people nice. So it's like,
I
yeah,
know
I'm
you have.
friends with
I know you
them.
have a lot of rich friends. I know you have a lot of rich friends. You're a private school guy. You play basketball. With
Dude,
the
no,
rich
I
kids.
no, I don't have a lot of rich friends. I have some, not even some, but like a few, like really rarely. Like I have few of them, but I
Dude,
mean, I'm not really even
you,
like really tight with these guys. But
you know the
I know
school I
some
went
people who
to,
are
like
rich.
my grade school. I mean, when we have our reunions, all my classmates, when we get together, they're always like saying, "Oh, Rod was the rich kid." I'm like, what? I never felt like I was the rich kid. Like everybody would say I was the rich kid because my dad, whatever, and like they're all saying I have an Atari at home and my Betamax, that I'm not rich. Yeah, that's my Lola's house. I mean, like that's the thing. It's like people here that assume those are not even my parents' house. My parents never even built a house. Like I was talking to my sister about that. Like
Dili dato
that's
ha,
so
pero
funny.
palinyahon ang palinyahon ang mga bata usa mo sulod mo tanaw TV.
See, that's the thing with the show, man. We're always caught red-handed contradicting our statements. We're
Di
always like,
daw
okay,
dato. Oh.
if people have only seen one episode, they'll probably fall for a crap. They'll be like,
Yeah,
ang
yeah,
babait
yeah.
pa na ng mga to. Grabe, they have a heart of
Ay,
gold. These guys are. But if
kahawd na
they
lang
hear,
mga atik aning
they,
mga
they,
tawhana.
they say, I love my
Minaw.
family. I think to my family. Pero nakastag ka na, no, kapila. But anyways, it's just, it doesn't mean you're, okay, people are entitled to change, right? And when I say, that's a good topic. I'm digging myself a deeper hole here. Okay, but that's a good topic. That's a good topic, guys. Can a leopard change its spots? Can a person really change? Like, because like
Like what
I
you
had a
said, like what
reunion.
you said. Okay, you just said it earlier. It
What?
doesn't change anything. Like, money doesn't even change a person. When the money comes, the
It just
real
shows who they
the
are.
real
Yeah.
person show up. But he's been always been
So
like
you
that
mean
ever.
okay? So you're saying like if I live in a big house again, I will be like doing that to people? Like no, okay, ano sasabihin? Paalam bago makapasok. Like I will
Dude,
be
you're
that
doing it
mean kid.
now. You're always entrapping me. Every time we have a show, you're always setting me up. That's what you're doing. And I'm the only guy you do it with because I'm the only person you have access to. Imagine if we have like a lot of people in this show, you'd be like bullying all of us.
Dude, I don't make people do what they don't want to do. I'll make a
I
request if
know
they
you.
do it.
That's why you set it up. You're sneaky about it. You're crafty. That's what you are. And you always make me do things, and I
I'm
always
always
fall
two.
for it.
I'm always 2 steps ahead, bro.
Yeah,
That's a
I've always
trick.
fallen
Be
for it,
2 steps
right?
ahead.
Oh my
Yeah. Jawboy
god.
says life is short. Do it. I agree. Life is
Do
short. Do it.
what?
I saw this skit. Like I was
Dili mo
watching all
bayad?
these old.
Ayaw bayari.
No.
Life is short, don't pay. Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
you can look at it. You can look at it both ways, Joe boy. Come on, life is short. Singilin mo na. Or life is short.
All
Ayaw na
right.
ba yan eh? I mean, what are you talking about here? No, I just saw this skit with Paulo Contis and the bubble gang people. They always have the skits, and this is skit. They were eating at a restaurant with his friend, and he's always telling all his friends, he's like, "Oh, ano yung kinakain mo? Hindi yan healthy." Ganyan. Huwag kumakain ng crispy pata, ma-high blood ka na. O ikaw, kumakain ka ng pansit. Alam mo ba, hindi long life yan. Puro ano yan, sodium. Ganyan. Ako, kinakain ko lang salad. Ganyan. Ang tagal ko na kumakain ng salad. Kahit gusto kong kumain yan, hindi ko na kinakain kasi gusto ko ng long life. Baba. And he kept ranting on about living a healthy life and telling all his friends to feel bad about what they were eating, right? So they were like all thinking twice about eating the food because every time you see a friend like eat kakain ng ice cream, magiging diabetic ka yan. And then all of a sudden, the chandelier of the restaurant falls on him. And he's like, he dies. And all his friends were like, oh, kain tayo ulit. Kain na ulit. It's like, it's like, it's like, it's like he's so paranoid. I mean, it's like they were thinking, crap, this guy like has been eating like tasteless food, all this crappy, like, healthy stuff that yeah, he's just been wanting to eat like lechon kawale and ice cream and all this stuff, but he deprived himself because he wants to live a long life. And boom, the chandelier falls on him, like he just
No.
dies there.
Okay,
And all his
this
friends,
is okay. This is the exact reasoning of people who are hooked into things. My dad used to say those things, like, well,
yeah,
not in exact verbatim words, but he would always
don't
say,
yeah.
"Ah, maurang pataya," and dude, he died because he's been saying
Yeah.
that his whole life. He never really
Yeah,
wanted
but,
to
yeah,
give up
yeah, but
alcohol.
pinanindigan
Never
niya.
wanted to give up
Pinanindigan niya.
like
Yeah.
smoking. Right. Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
why he
yeah.
reached
Pinanindigan niya.
60. His target was 60, and boom, 60, he died. My God,
Yeah,
right?
he lived a full
That
life
was
on
his
his
reason.
terms. He
And I
did it
have
his
friends who
way.
are like that right now. They would always say, maurang pataya. So I'm just like, all right. I mean, yeah, you have a point. I might I might get hit by a truck or a chandelier would fall on my head and, kill me.
Yeah.
That could happen. But well,
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah. Like
I
it was
mean, what
like,
if
it was like
nothing falls
and I
on
didn't see
you?
it. I didn't see it coming because I was watching the Bubble Gang skit, and I was looking. They kept talking, and I go, "Oh no!" And then all these friends were like about to eat. Like, "Ay, hindi na lang kumain." And then all of a sudden, the chandelier falls,
you know,
and then they all see him like that. Oh, okay.
drugs, drugs.
Because it's like, utragis pwede rin naman pala tayo mamatay. Gawin na natin yung masarap, right? It's like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
right?
I know. Like the point is, like, of course we don't know if we're gonna die out of, like if something falls on our head or if we get to an accident. Of course we don't know that, but don't intentionally kill yourself, right? I mean,
Yeah,
doing like
there's a way to
abusing yourself with
intentionally kill yourself.
alcohol, drugs,
Yeah,
food,
yeah.
dude. That's one way of killing yourself slowly.
Have you seen Leaving Las Vegas? I think it was Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving Las
Nicholas
Vegas. No,
Cage,
I have not.
Elizabeth Shue. He was like, he was on a drinking spree. He was trying to kill himself with alcohol poisoning.
Right?
So he was just drinking until he died. That was basically what it was. He was like, so I don't know what his issue
Did
was.
he
I forgot,
die?
but he died. He died. And the only reason why I watched that movie was because it was Elizabeth Shue's like first topless role, and I was like, yeah, I want to see Allie from Karate Kid. So I saw it, and
Okay.
it was actually a pretty good movie. I mean, it's always like my thing. Like when I watch movies, it's like I
A
always
pretty
have an
good topless
agenda,
view.
and
Is that what you're saying?
no, it was really quick, like super fast,
Did you pause it for
super
a long
fast.
time
Back then, I did, yeah, because there was no Google Image yet. Now you can just
until
Google Image it, not even watch the
until
movie.
you started shaking?
Pitik ang tiil mo. That's why never put anything breakable under the TV. Never. Pag pumitik yung paa niya, bang! Biyak yung figurine. Never put anything breakable under the TV. Okay.
May banluwa
Nanggaya ang tiil.
Something na banluwa
What the heck are we talking about? I thought we were talking about should you people what you ordered. Geez, anyways. But then again, we've exceeded our. Here's the thing: we have a limit.
Okay.
Like every time guys, we have a topic. Every time we have a topic, we only like stick to it for like 20, 30 minutes tops.
No, no.
The rest of the 1
To be
hour and
fair,
whatever.
no. To be fair, we stuck it out with the topic
Yeah,
for
because
an hour and 30
our
minutes.
audience, participated.
Right.
And they were like,
an hour and
okay,
30
and
minutes.
then
I did count. I did count. All right. Okay. So we're gonna wrap
okay,
it up now. We're gonna
okay, all
wrap
right.
it up now.
Yeah, we should.
All right.
Yeah, I have a long day ahead. So, anyways, tomorrow. But the moral of the story. Okay, let's have our closing
Okay.
statements. The moral of the story here is, it's the pandemic.
Don't put stuff on.
What? What?
The moral of the story is don't put something breakable on top of the TV.
Masipahan na, masipahan. Why don't you just not sit too close to the TV when you're watching porn, all right? Because it's a muscle reaction, Anyway,
All right. Okay.
you know when
All right.
when you're sharing the bed and you're pleasuring yourself as a puberty-stricken young boy, and you think like your grandma doesn't know because she's asleep, they know, all right. They know because
All right,
there will come that time where you just
They're old. They're not stupid. Remember that.
you're old.
They're old. They're not stupid.
All right.
All right. Okay.
And lock the
Wrapping
doors.
it up. Yeah, wrapping it up,
Yeah.
Rod.
CJ broke his bed. Yeah, CJ's like, I love CJ. I love this kid because CJ's like, yeah, he absolutely opens up to me about everything, and And I told him, CJ, if you have any questions about puberty, about like, like masturbation and all that stuff, or ladies, or you're confused, or you think, your nipples are tender, you might be gay, or whatever, right? I'm
Right.
here to explain it to you. I went through all of that. Nobody explained it to me. I didn't have
Right.
Google or
Okay.
anything. I
That's good.
went,
I thought you were gonna point your
dude,
finger to like, okay, assert to ice match.
dude,
I'm like, what?
dude,
What
dude,
are you pointing
dude,
fingers?
dude. You know American Pie, that movie where he
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
he bonked the pie because
Yeah.
dude, I was like a one time entertaining the thought of bonking the dressed chicken. Because you have all these thoughts. You're looking for like the closest sensation that you can imagine when you're a puberty stricken boy. And I'm telling you, there are decent ways to go about it. And now kids know they can Google, am I something wrong with me? No, you're just going through puberty, and it's
Well, we
it's
miss you
natural.
too, Ashik. We miss you too.
Yes, we do. Uncle Rod probably swerved left.
All right. All right. Okay.
Yeah, at
Wrapping
least
it
I
up.
know
If
my
you order,
yeah.
all right. Okay. All right. We're gonna wrap it up. All right. Okay.
Now, what's the moral of the story?
So
What's the ikaw na?
the moral of the
What's the moral of
story
the
is,
story?
if you order
Don't put anything
something,
breakable on it.
if you order something, pay for it. That's just the moral of the story.
Yes.
All right.
If
You
you're not
order for something, you
satisfied,
pay for it. You're not satisfied, give
yes,
a bad review. That's it.
give a bad
And
review.
okay, to
Give
be
give
fair too, do
give
not.
give them the benefit
Right.
of the doubt. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
True. True. And if you're on the receiving end of the abuse, don't resort to
Yeah,
mob
don't
mentality.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
recording, like record it probably whatever, and like use it for evidence or whatnot. But don't
Yeah.
post it on like social media and whatnot, because you never
Yeah.
know. I mean, to be fair
Yeah.
to like Maria and whatnot, I mean, even after she paid, like
You can't
the
take
other
that away
party,
anymore. It's there. Yeah, it's there
right? I
already.
mean, people would be, going to her house, like shaming her. That's not fair to
Yeah.
her, right? I mean, that's
Us
not fair
having
to
a
her.
topic right now, talking about that. So it's like we don't even know her. We could care less.
Mm.
But like I said, it went viral. And he- then,
And
the thing about things that go viral, 9 times out of 10, people will believe it. Like
that's
just
true.
everything that they see on that clip, they will immediately come up with their own conclusions, like we do. No, sometimes we do. And
Like
9 times out of 10, those conclusions are inaccurate.
like the
You
Carabao.
know, Blue Carabao, Philip Mignon. No, but I mean, really, right? If okay, if you're gonna go to Blue Carabao and have lunch, right? Are you really thinking you're eating at Claude's? Come on, right? I mean, obviously there's a Claude is on a different level. When you eat the Claude, yeah, of course you can talk to the chef, you can talk to Tito Claude and tell him about your concerns about your meal. But when you eat at Blue Carabao, yeah, it's also a white guy that actually runs that place. But it's like it's like they exceeded expectations based on their prices. So basically, it's kind of like look at the horse if it's a thoroughbred and be disappointed if it doesn't win the race. But if it's a freaking Yagitoy's horse na mukhang mamamatay na bukas, are you even expecting the horse to have a chance at that race? No, right? Just place
Right.
your bet on it and see what happens. That's it. That's the moral of
And
the
take
story.
it from
I
this
know a guy
guy.
was go.
Take it from this guy who says that I
Oh,
know a
what
guy
was that?
who was solely satisfied and ate the whole
Was that you? Was
Americano,
that you?
French fries and burger, yet he did
Was
not
that you?
pay.
Was that you?
He ended up in a patrol car.
Was that your kuya? Was that your kuya? Kuya Litz?
How? I'm not
Was that
gonna I'm
you?
not gonna drop names here, but
Come on,
yeah.
man. I mean, we're talking about Maria and all that stuff, and you're all like saying that, kakailan ako and all that vibe, and like all of a sudden here you are eating
See,
Hungarian
there he
sausage.
is again, setting me up.
Dude, you're
Who's
the one,
telling
two,
the
three
story,
kid.
yeah?
Come on.
Not me. It was him.
Okay. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know, dude. I mean, why would he incriminate himself? So
No, but
what?
this
So
was
what
all
happened? Like,
settled. This was all settled. This was all settled
what?
up.
Ang
I was
importante
like so
busog.
I was so mad. Like, what? What were you thinking? He was like, I thought I could outrun. I thought I could outrun the waiters.
He actually ran. He ate and then he ran.
Well, he was so drunk at that time, and he was like thinking,
Did
how
you did you
people
have to
think, yeah.
settle? You had to settle it. You
Well,
paid
when he when
like
he
the
when he
good.
started, I don't know, like I don't, but as far as I remember the story, he tried to run, then he didn't realize that there was like a patrol car, um, standing by outside a restaurant, so he got caught.
They were on to him. What he
They
did
were
not know,
after
they were
him.
following him. He was under surveillance the whole
Next
time.
thing I know, I got a call and I have to go pick him up. And I'm like, what the heck happened? And he was like, why didn't you call me? You could have called me and we could have paid. Spare yourself from the embarrassment.
You know what would have
Oh
been the
my
worst,
gosh.
Ice? When you got to the police station, there were a lot of like jeepney driver complainants there, and they see you. Hey, kana jeep mona, di ka bayad.
I'd be like,
Di ka pagsasa.
Chip,
Gatong
Chip, Chip,
toril, wala.
Chip, Chip. Ning kabit lang
Jeep,
rabag ko, Chip.
bye.
Wa ko nilingkod. Wa ko nilingkod. Wa ko nilingkod. Di ba bawal ang kabit? Di ba bawal ang
O
kabit?
kami, wala huli yapon, right? Wala.
All
Anyways, all right, so we're done.
right, we're done. All right,
On
okay,
Saturday,
whatever.
what are
You
we
know, like you
having?
should pay for what you ordered. That you should.
Yes,
You should pay for what you ordered.
yes, yes,
That's the moral of the
yes.
story. All right,
And it goes both
Saturday.
sides. Like they're both
Yeah,
wrong.
hopefully,
They were
hopefully
both wrong.
Pinky would be with us this Saturday.
Yeah.
She's just so busy lately. So
Otherwise, if
yeah.
Pinky doesn't show up, we'll give young people out there
If
puberty
Pinky,
tips.
okay, if Pinky doesn't show up, we're gonna have a chick
What?
on the show.
Yes. Let's have a
A
shit.
chick, we're gonna have you on the show, right? So if Pinky's not
Yeah.
around, we're gonna have you on the show.
Okay, if
And
we're
we're
gonna
not
put a
taking no
chick
for an
on the
answer.
show, make sure you put the write up. There's a lot at the end because she will not understand it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
She's been in Singapore
I
for
will.
so long. La. All right. So a chick, we hope to see you on Saturday. If
Chick
Pinky
la.
doesn't show up, if Pinky shows up, we'll
We'll
see
see you
how it
la.
works out.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So
So
all right.
thanks. Yeah. Thanks a lot for hanging around with us. It was an interesting night. Yeah. I had a laugh. That was fun. So I mean,
Yeah.
at least with Rods,
I don't even know why. I know you're gonna Google image Elizabeth Shue. I know you're gonna Google image Elizabeth Shue. And you're gonna be like, this is not even worth it. It's not worth breaking a freaking figurine.
All right. No.
If it was Phoebe Cates, yeah.
I had,
You know.
dude. I had my second vaccine. My second shot for the Corona vaccine today. So, right. I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
chill.
Joe Boy.
Right.
I'm glad Joe Boy
Yeah.
tunes into us because
I know,
he's
right?
exactly
Joe
our
Boy.
target market. He's our target market. The Pinoy guys who miss the Philippines or Davao and kind of want to have a connection, and then boom, we're on because we did that with a radio show. When we were going online and
True.
doing streaming,
True. That boy.
people were like, people would be like in Dubai, and they'd be like,
RA
he's in the
ka pa.
UK. Yeah. Jeff.
The
Aparte,
RA
iba
boy.
nung RA na yun sa Cavite or wherever he is now. Good
Yeah,
night,
he's in
Gap. Good
Cavite.
night, DJ
All right,
Miko, of
everybody, good
course,
night. DJ
and
Miko,
yeah,
right? CJ,
everyone else.
don't break your bed again. All right. Safe.
Yeah, be safe. Bye.
All right. So yeah, this has been the OK Show. My name is Iceman.
Rod Rodriguez.
Good night, and we'll see you on
Bye.
Saturday. We're out.